Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. Better Call Saul, Season 3, Episode 10, Lantern, the season finale of Better Call Saul. And is Chuck alive? Oh my goodness, could it happen? No, of course he's fucking dead. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about anyone else's show. Of course Chuck is dead. I don't want to hear that because of I love Better Call Saul, and it's making some excellent television right now, but it is worth mentioning that the ratings are kind of going. So we're doing the Talking Saul after Better Call Saul, where it's all hype. Let's turn this into a hype thing, because it's that kind of show. It's totally a hype kind of show. But this was a really great end to a really great season. The first half of the episode maybe had me a little down, but it really hit home at the end of the episode. A couple of amazing scenes, but come on. Chuck committing suicide in a ridiculously amazing, grandiose way. I like what Peter Gould just said to Chris Hardwick about whether Chuck was alive. He's like, okay, you want to ask that stupid question? Whether he's alive or he's dead, Michael McKean's going to be on our show for a long time. And that means through flashbacks, through other means, the kind of show that they have, if this show is to continue, which there was a couple of weird things said, and that's what took me a little while. It was kind of watching that thing going on right now on television. And it was just interesting seeing how, it's like, yeah, we haven't really started working on season 4 yet. It's whatever. But great episode. I specifically loved the Chuck stuff. Watching a man go insane was hauntingly enjoyable in this episode from beginning to end. The Jimmy and Kim stuff was interesting, probably my least favorite aspect of the episode, but the Jimmy has that side story where we go with him and all the ruining a woman's life. But we're gonna get all into this. I'm not alone. I might not have Joe with me this evening, but I am not alone. I'm never alone when I have the motherfucking chat with me. We got Corey Mitchell, Timo, Broke Black, Critch, Robert Ward. We got all the good friends jumping in the live motherfucking chat. Let me get this up. Let me stick it up. Stick it in the. There he is. There's the motherfucking chat. See, I'm never alone when I have. Wait, I don't even know where it is. Which side is it? Welcome to the motherfucking show, motherfuckers. This is what am I gonna do, Jay from motherfucker, wah. I'm gonna try to break the record with the most motherfuckers ever in a podcast. Can we do it? I think I can. But no, I just think this was a really solid end to this season. I do think for if we're talking about high moments, I think the highest high moment we had in the season for like a peak was the courtroom. That was when Chuck basically wrung his own neck and set everything up. But Jimmy gave him a chance in this episode. Reached his hand out to him, said, brother, I've been thinking about you. I care about you. My love almost died in a car accident. Everything went in focus. Jimmy got stupid again, and he was ready to support Chuck and be there for him again, even though he said, you're going to die alone one day, Chuck. But what did Jimmy do? What did Chuck do? Chuck acted like an asshole. And he said to him, listen, Jimmy, I never really liked you anyway. And then you can interpret things any way you want. You interpret the emotion which Michael McKean gives through in his face but I didn't. Maybe a half a second of remorse as Jimmy was walking out the door, but not really any. And then you think that Chuck's such a fuck, and then watching him go completely mad dog, ridiculous, insane, and rip his house apart. Because anyone who's ever lost anything can kind of relate to that scene on a minor level, which, again, one of those elements that makes Better Call Saul one of my favorite television shows, not only on television right now, but just in depicting how real, to an extent, to a lifted extent for television, but how it can explain so many real emotions. When you just lose your keys, when you lose something, where the hell did I put that thing down? Where did I put my lighter? Where did I put my lighter? Where the fuck? Oh, where? Oh shit, where is it? What the fuck? And you just want to rip shit apart. You can relate to that. And if you're someone like Chuck who's unhinged, who's so confident in himself that he thinks that, oh, I got 3 sessions of therapy, I'm fixed. I can go to 0 to 100. Everything is failing for Chuck. The Chuck journey this season and from season 2 all the way through. Now that we're at this point, I kind of want to look at Better Call Saul as a whole for the 3 seasons together. I'm having trouble right now. I have to rewatch season 2 about where I rank between seasons 2 and season 3, but both seasons are so excellently done. This season is all about the fall of Chuck, watching him just destroy himself from that one moment of last season of abandoning his family over the law or whatever is important to him, his ego over his family, even over his business, over everything. His ego drove him that thought that Hamlin would need him so fucking much that he would kowtow to anything Chuck said in that meeting. Chuck thought he was running that. Chuck thought he was sitting the head of the board. He thought he was Frank Sinatra, chairman of the board and shit. Sitting there going, fuck you. No, I have my terms. This is what I'm going to say. Everyone has to hit 3 bongos. 1, 2, 3. I know they're congas. What the fuck? Let's jump in the live chat. Quixote, we got broke. Timo says, I wonder if Chuck was thinking suicide when he said that shit to Jimmy. If so, he's definitely a fucked up person. Chuck doesn't seem like the opposite. Do I seem like the guy that has a plan? That was the worst Joker ever, but Chuck seems like the opposite. He always has a plan. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to just hammer, this is his final fuck you to Jimmy. You care about me? I'm going to destroy myself in the most awful way possible. And burning myself. Again, what? I don't even want to entertain the imagination of why are people on a television that I can hear in the corner of my side butthole? Why in the distance am I hearing, is Chuck alive or dead? That shouldn't even be a discussion. Chuck burned himself to death. It's fucking suicide. It's horrible. They put the fucking suicide prevention hotline number up at the end. Chuck is gone. Why are they asking these questions? Can't imagine the guilt Jimmy would have. He was the ruin of his brother, and then this happens. And I was going to mention that as well. The thing that we learned through Jimmy, it's through the Kim situation, and through the Chuck situation, and through the situation with Irene and Sandpiper. The Jimmy through line of this episode was that Jimmy takes responsibility for everything because he doesn't think he's worth shit. Because... Sorry, let's get into my own psychosis. But I can relate to this so fucking much. Jimmy he's so nice. He knows how to break shit down, but he wants to protect other people. The means he gets there are fucked up sometimes. But Jimmy McGill is a caring dude, essentially. And he cares about his brother. He may not always manifest it in positive ways. He's a fucking small-time con man, or excuse me. He's not small-time con man. He's on the level of Steve Martin and Michael Caine and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. He's a top-level con man. But ultimately, he has a code of sorts. This thing that he did with Irene and Sandpiper was pushing the limits of his code. But he thought it would all work out. He thought when everyone got the money, it would all work out. But ultimately, at the end, his solution to the situation that he doesn't really want to do, but he will do, is I don't care if people hate me because I hate me. So if I hate me and my brother hates me, everyone hates me, I'll take responsibility for every fucking thing in the world. I'm walking around. I was like, I do that shit too sometimes. If I'm in a situation, I'm like, this person's mad at this person, this person's mad at this person. Why don't I just do something to make them both pissed at me? Because that dude doesn't deal well. Because if those two stay mad at each other, they're not going to be friends anymore. If they're just pissed at me, they're going to go, oh, that's Phil just being Phil. So I just act like maybe I do it as an excuse to be an asshole. But so again, something I can kind of relate to from Jimmy's perspective. Jimmy is like me and my older brother, my cunt of a brother is Chuck. I am sorry, broke. Let me just go on record and say Mrs. Landry's friends are some petty ass bitches, says Corey Mitchell. Yeah, they are horrible. They are worse than the mean girl in that movie. What's it called? Mean Girl. No, that was horrible. Heathers or whatever. They're horrible. They're like Blair Waldorf or some shit. They're fucking horrible. Was Kim fucked up previous question. Was Kim fucked up previous episode or was it just me? What do you mean by that, Broke? Explain your question more or call it. Broke, leave a message. I forgot to mention. We have a voicemail line, 781-990-8509. Broke, call in and leave that question. I'm such an asshole. I'm just, do it. Do it. You won't fucking do it. That's such an awful way to commit suicide, though. Maybe Chuck changed his mind and ran out. I mean, that's the only situation that he dive bombed through a window. There are lots of holes in his wall. There's a hole in my wall, dear Chuck fuck, dear Chuck fuck. Blair was the best. I was all Stephanie is Blair and Chuck forever. She has that tattooed on the side of her boob. No, she doesn't really, but she loves fucking Blair and Chuck. She's all about the Blair and Chuck. Toast to everyone in the motherfucking chat joining me this evening for this Better Call Saul season finale, and thank you to all of you guys that have joined me all season to watch this. Better Call Saul hopefully will be back next season. Maybe we'll do a couple of things in the off season, and also I'll be on Mark from Enchantment of Eternity's channel on Thursday at 9 p.m. with Mark and Don Willie to talk about Better Call Saul the whole season. So definitely check that out to get into a little bit more freeform discussion over there on Mark's channel if anyone wants to hear more babble after this podcast. And hopefully we'll be back. I'll keep up to date with the Better Call Saul Insiders podcast and give information as we know it for season 4 and kind of do some off-season stuff. Doesn't mean I'm done. I'm not leaving. Not leaving. The podcast isn't over. Not yet. Stop, drop, and roll, Chuck. Stop, drop, and roll. That's great. That's such a hey now, Blair. Timo, next season opens up with Chuck running down the street on fire. When he says I won't call, but I will. Yes, you will. Yes, you will, motherfucker. Stop, drop, and roll. He's fireproof blanket. And I thought I heard gas linking, was hoping for an explosion, hoping for the set to explode. Brown sugar. I'm telling you that spacesuit is fireproof. Hashtag Chuck lives. Who wants to see Chuck naked emerging from the flames? Who doesn't want to see David St. Hubbins running from that flame with an electric guitar and start playing Sex Farm? I think everyone wants to see that, Corey Mitchell. Blair and Chuck sees Steph. Oh, fuck, scroll up. Scroll down. Blair and Chuck see Steph knows good TV. Don't judge her for her love of Fear the Walking Dead. I'll judge her for her love of Fear the Walking Dead, and I love Gossip Girl too. Fuck you. I just like the OC a little bit better. And OG 90210 is my shit. Don't fuck with me and a Dylan McKay. And I'll explain it for a little while, because at the time that 90210 was on, yes, it was a soap opera, straight up soap opera. It was also one of the first things I saw besides eventually Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and similar to Reach to eventually to Deep Space Nine, to Breaking Bad and Sopranos. That was long-form storytelling. The thing that hooked me is I happened to be dating this girl that forced me to watch it. And the series of episodes was when Dylan, spoiler alert, loses his money, gets conned out of his money, that has to go on a mission to save it. And it's like over a course of a bunch of episodes. And I was like, whoa, this is not, I thought 90210 was fucking boyfriend-girlfriend bullshit. So I kind of got hooked to it. So yeah. Feel free to turn off, unsubscribe, whatever. The 90210 podcast is coming, whether you can take it or not, or a general top 5 or top something cheesy, awful teen drama podcast is coming. And you guys, or video, whatever the hell we do here, and you guys can unsubscribe. You're like, oh, you're talking about Better Call Saul. And I imagine someone's tuning into this. It's like, okay, I'm following this guy a little bit with the Better Call Saul talk. And then suddenly I'm talking about Gossip Girl and 90210. Fuck all. Toast to that. Fuck. Do 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 do. I could start singing David Silver's song. I'm so precious to you. I'm so precious to you. Or is that Babyface? Is that the song that he sung with? Okay, I'm going to stop now. So let's get into it a little bit more. And is Hector alive or dead? Shut up. Okay, so Nacho, Hector's crazy temper, Nacho's brilliance. He worked great at the end of the episode. Chuck getting not what he wants, getting the payoff. Sorry, I kind of already went into all my original like opening points and shit like that. So why am I wasting any more time in this motherfucker? Let's kick into some music. I think I was disconnected there for a second. It's time for the recap. Somehow when I got up and started jumping around like an idiot, which wasn't the brightest thing to do because it is like a fucking sweat locker in this office right now. Did I do a jump in the Matrix because the recording cut off for a second and then went back in? Yes, OBS failed me for a second because I haven't updated to the newest version yet. And it tells me every time, it's like, you need to update. Fuck you, I don't want to update yet. I got a podcast. I got to do this. So I think it's disconnecting me a little bit. Otherwise, I need to get Taka over here to do some tech work for me. So, whew. Why am I jumping around like an idiot? It's the beer. Oh. Worst thing that could happen now is like, don't land on 20 push-ups. He cut while you were getting up and came back while you were sitting. Oh, so you missed. So I jumped around for nothing. That was almost as bad as the dancing around to no music. I got up. I was hitting myself in the head with a pillow and all of that. And the such. Yeah, it's too bad. Lost forever. Corey. Okay, so this episode opens up where we're at a camp or in a tent, and there is what I thought at first was a man and a child, and and next thing we know, some music was playing that was something like this. Not shut up, fellas. I gotta get a porn song on cue here. I gotta get a porn song. What's the closest thing I have to a porn song? Can we pretend this one is? So then the man takes the child on his lap and tells him, no, it's Chuck and it's Jimmy as kids. And right from the beginning, maybe sort of what Chuck was saying about not caring about Jimmy. I wonder about that, how much of that Chuck is just trying to hurt Jimmy in that situation, because in the moment in which he says it later in the episode, Jimmy's driven him to suicide ultimately by destroying everything he had, not just destroying him in the courtroom, which was enough, but the thing he did with the insurance policy thing. Maybe Chuck doesn't know Jimmy did that, hasn't put the pieces together, that Jimmy was the one who sent them in his direction, or he just blames him for bringing the whole situation to a head and focusing the attention on Chuck. Either way, Chuck wants to make sure on his way to becoming the human flame that he fucks Jimmy one more time, that punches Jimmy in the balls one more time, castrates him, makes him feel why do I always focus on balls? He makes him feel really, really bad one more time. And he does. And if there's anything, Jimmy might know how to destroy things, but he learned it. I learned it from watching you. Chuck destroys things so well, knows how to do that, knows Jimmy will keep coming back and just keeps punching him and punching him and punching him. And I'm not saying that, like what Jimmy was saying, I'm not 100% responsible. Chuck's not 100% responsible. Chuck is an asshole, but Jimmy is... Like Jimmy shit in the fucking sunroof, and Chuck had to come bail him out. That would piss me off if I had to do that for one of my friends. I maybe had to do something similar. I've had to bail out my friends in situations like that, and you do it, but it pisses you off. And if people just keep putting you in those situations over and over again, it comes to a point where you wipe your hands up. Even family members, they'll always be your family member, but again, there's certain people in my family that they cross lines, they cross borders with you. And I'm not going to say, oh, fuck you, I'm never going to talk to you again. Fuck you. I talk to them, I'll get what I need out of the relationship for them, but I won't trust them. They're not in my, not that anyone would ever want to be, because I smell pretty bad, but they're not in my inner sanctum or such. And So ultimately, that's the case. Jimmy and Chuck's relationship is fucked. Yeah, the Shut the Fuck Up one is a good porn song. It will do for now. Oh my god, I saw it live. I cringed at him and died laughing at him. Someone please tell Chris Hardwick that Chuck went had a special farm upstate. The guy just can't handle death. The real tragedy is that says Ahmed that the real tragedy is that Jimmy and Chuck would have achieved a lot if they cooperated. I agree. And I think all of that has to do with Chuck. Both people have their problems, but Chuck is more rigid because of his particular manifestation of the sickness, where and I'm not talking about the electro stuff, whatever. That is a victim of the more confident he felt, the more he was able to push that off. We all have our shit. We all have our irrational fears. And I'm not devaluing what Chuck went through and what's wrong with Chuck. But I think ultimately, you can have problems and have real concerns. And I've worked in some healthcare facility, not as much as someone like Timo or Joe, but I've worked in or spent a lot of time in nursing homes, entertained as an entertainer in such situations. And there's people that have dementia, and I've worked with them. My mother had dementia, and I spent a lot of time in a dementia ward. And there's people that have disorders and have problems or whatever. Here I go as I'm wringing my neck. But ultimately within that, all of that aside, there's also assholes and not assholes. There's assholes that have mental problems, and then there's nice people that have mental problems. Some people are just assholes, and Chuck is an egocentric asshole. All the stuff that he's dealing with is real, and I felt bad for him at the end of the episode. You could feel the realness of the emotion. I said, I've done that before too. I'm crazy like that. When I'm focused on that, I'll rip something apart, bash open a wall. When I was younger and I was real fucked up, I bashed my hands against walls, freaking out. That silly energy that I had was like hateful, silly energy before. So, I mean, I can relate to that shit, but it doesn't change the fact that he is an egocentric prick and goes to try to attack first. Howard brings that up to him. He supported Chuck for so long, and I don't always think Howard does the right thing, but he calls Chuck out on his bullshit. Hardcore. And it's just like, listen, I supported you. I accept you for what you are. I accept your disorder. I tried to work with you and all of that, and I tried to encourage you to retire. Maybe it was time to step away. We can maybe find a way to you to be an advisor. Find just a way to just step away. Help me help you. Help me help you. And Chuck thought to sue him first and put pressure on him and almost not blackmail him, but give him an ultimatum that you pay me $8 million and all of that. And ultimately we'll get to it, but he sacrificed, and Howard's going to pay out of fucking pocket. Let's jump to the fly motherfucking chat. Chuck in the end was crazy, like wearing Bugs Bunny costume by killing hostages. Not just killing the hostages, but dressed like Bugs Bunny when he did it. They could have been like the Russo brothers or the Coen brothers. It's sad. They could have worked together because they complement each other well. And because, as we've seen, Jimmy, if Chuck could understand, especially at this point, and be that strength, that intelligence in the background of Jimmy, and uses Jimmy as a people person, they could control everything. They could have been an amazing team on so many different levels. Yeah, Howard's going to feel guilty as shit, too. He really is. Guilty as a shit. I have to take... Why is everything... to quote someone else, why is everything I say... Why is everything talking about taking a shit? Oh my goodness. So another great episode of Better Call Saul as I'm stalling for time. Why are you stalling for time? You're stalling because it's time for some technical difficulties. Wait. Stretch it out. Oh yeah. It's stretched out. There we go. It's a little too stretchy. Yeah, Howard is going to feel exceptionally guilty for this whole situation. I don't know if more so than Jimmy. Howard might end up being a little bit pissed off at Chuck for the situation. Just because he's a little bit, he's a real person, but he has a lot of machine in him too. He's partially machine now. So the episode opens up with the camp with the man telling a story. It's a zoom in. It's very well done.
Still, except for the tree toads and the frogs and the brook peeping mournfully. And every little while.
Yeah, Howard is I think that's very well said. Howard is borderline douchey. He can be douchey, but he's that kind of douchey guy that he's like, hey, Skipper, how's it going on? He's not quite like Office Space. What was the character's name in Office Space? The dude Mike Brady played him in. Oh fuck, what was his name? You slept with whatever his name was. He's not quite that level douchey, but he's like one step below. Like he really wants to be your cool friend buddy guy, but he's not.
Mabel could hear strange rustlings in the leaves. She tried to remember the way home, but the woods look so different now. She couldn't.
So then we go into our next scene. It's a good story that he tells little Jimmy.
What's that? Said Mabel.
What's that?
I'm so frightened. In a minute or two, she heard the howl again. Ow! A long, wild cry. She began to run, but the poor thing had...
Patrick Fabian reminds me of my every favorite high school teacher.
Be fine, Jimmy.
That's actually a good way of describing him. Like geek, douchey, but like douchey enough that he's kind of being nice. He kind of does remind me of a teacher I had, Mr. McGuire. Now that I think about it. So that's our little intro, very quick. Then we go into Kim in the hospital, and the color scheme in the scene is green. It's just really well done. Jimmy's all concerned, looking up at her and staring at her big time. You can just tell he cares. And this episode definitely brings Jimmy and Kim closer. She leans on him in this situation when she needs him. It breaks it down. He stops holding on to the office ultimately in this episode too. Then we get Jimmy after he gets her out of the hospital because she has to be there for about 24 hours. Jimmy is in the dark gathering all the papers she lost in the accident. We flash over to that. So then we go to this scene with Chuck and the board where Chuck basically, this does not go how Chuck wanted to. And I'm going to play it through all of this scene right now. And here we go.
Recriminations. This is a situation no firm ever wants to be in. It's embarrassing. I know we all want a swift resolution here. So what are our options? Take it to trial? Expensive and extremely damaging for HHM's reputation. Not my first.
That's a good thought, Timo. I want to just get that on the chat or in the show. I wonder if Kim will take Chuck's spot at HHW. Very good question. After this episode, I see Kim just eating bonbons and binging Breaking Bad episodes.
Or yours, I imagine. The firm could choose to buy me out for an amount that is almost certain to bankrupt it. I spent decades.
Chuck thought he was in so much control in this scene. And at the whole time, Howard is just... You're destroying our friendship every single step of the way. Tick, tick, motherfucking tick.
This firm. I don't want to be the agent of its destruction. There is a third option.
Corey Mitchell, it's interesting you say that. You think the problem with King's pantsuit, she's like uber hot, but seemingly dresses in the most unattractive way possible. The costume designer on the show, I was listening to the Better Call Saul Insiders podcast, and they were talking about Kim's costume designs. They specifically design her with mismatched clothes all the time, and they say it's like subtly colored mismatched clothes, like she barely put her shit together, like she's been wearing the same clothes for many days. And yeah, they specifically try to tone down the like what kind of clothes she wears to make it look like she's not wearing like Cartier suits and all this sort of stuff. She's wearing like stuff she gets at Kmart and shit. So that's like specifically done for a reason. With the design of Kim, I highly recommend listening to episode 9 of the Better Call Saul Insiders podcast. She's there, and they get way into her Kim's design and foundation, where a lot of decisions and the kind of character she is comes from. It made me appreciate her character a little bit more, hearing her and how they get into it. Even silly things like When she's wearing her hair in a bun, a little ponytail thing, that's not really her hair. It's only half her hair. It's a fake ponytail. It's like a little toupee.
There's no reason we can't put all this unpleasantness behind us and continue on.
Yeah, Tebow, that ponytail isn't really hers. In season 1 it was, but season 2 and season 3, the ponytail is only half hers. Or she said 60% hers, or something like that.
Then I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. And if you agree, I think we can settle all this right now with a simple handshake.
Would you all give us the room for a moment?
Howard's like, the fuck? A simple handshake? I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. And everyone runs out of there, and we'll go to this conversation.
18 in July, actually. All those years, we built this place together. And all that time,
Now, I think when we get into this, I think Howard is legitimately hurt of this situation. And Howard, Patrick Fabian was talking about this a little bit at the when I was listening to the Chris Hardwick show over there. Patrick Fabian was his character's really grown. Joe mentioned this last week that maybe it's because they've given him more to do, but I also think the character has expanded as they discovered more of who he is. At the beginning, he was kind of one note, and at this point, you can feel the hurt.
First instinct you
The
had
hurt
to sue
here.
me?
Yeah, the hurt.
To sue the firm.
Hey, Al Red Sox fan. Great to see you, brother.
I don't even know. In what world is that anything but the deepest betrayal of everything we worked so hard to accomplish?
In what world is that you not fucking punching me in the gut, Chuck?
Howard, I could argue that you're the one who betrayed me.
Oh, stop it. That's bullshit. Great. Call him out on that shit. Call him. You're done. Get the hell out of there.
Here.
And he gives him, and he hands him a check for $3 million. And Chuck is like, you can't afford this shit.
Payments as per the partnership agreement.
And he is paying him out of pocket. He wants him gone so much out of his life. He is so done with Chuck right now that
This is mostly for my personal funds
he's willing to pay him off.
and a few loans.
Yeah, Howard, the voice of reason. I bet no one saw that coming. Tar. I love what's going on in the chat right now, as always. The live motherfucking chat is the best thing in the world. So if you check out our show and you like it and you don't watch it live, or you listen to our podcast audio version, please always try to join us live right after the episodes air to jump in the live motherfucking chat and join our Discord group and keep the discussions going with some of the best people around the FOPs and just the live motherfucking chat. Great. Always make me laugh. I could sit here and just read what you guys write. And I feel like I miss some of it because I'm doing this podcasting thing. I want to just sit here and read the chat sometimes. Give me the chat. Oh, yeah. Let me put it on the screen so I can read it later with a magnifying glass. Okay. So then our next scene that we go on to is Chuck having to do his public goodbye. And
Thank you for gathering. I have some bittersweet news to
this scene right here, when Howard puts Chuck in the spot right in this situation, gets everyone to cheer for him, and just sets him up perfectly for public embarrassment, is one of the most well-acted scenes. This is the cement on, and I know Joe's sitting on my fucking shoulder saying, Phil, shut the fuck up. This stuff doesn't matter. This is the moment. This is the moment of which I think, again, Michael McKean shows that he should win an award this year somewhere, somehow. He plays such combination of fake joy, but his ego being fulfilled by all these people clapping for him. Horror about what's next, that he thought that this was going to be either they were going to drop everything and invite him back in, or he was going to get to be in a courtroom again and defend himself for years in a big, long case. Either way, it's win-win. They never thought that they were going to pay him off. And in this situation, he's celebrated having to be carried off, and he's smiling and showing horror, and you can just read through the smile. It's the smile horror thing as he's walking through the crowd. I don't know. There was just something about It was one of my favorite moments in the episode, and one of the best acting jobs I've seen in a long time. Michael McKean just played so many emotions so many things all at once. He was juggling so many balls. I don't know why that voice has to talk about balls, but it does. Balls, juggling them in my face. Hello, Ren Renwood. Lots of fucking hugs to Ren. Can you blame Howard for hating Howard and Jim, or Chuck and Jimmy? Both from his perspective, must really appear douches on opposite sides of the spectrum. Yeah, like these McGills are just poisoning everything. Stay away from me. Chuck should have just pulled his pants down and peed all over those motherfuckers. That would have been awesome. Al, Red Sox fan, have a great night. Always good to see you, my friend. Lots of love, Al. And great to see Ren Renwood in the house. Hi, all. So here's my burning question. Did Chuck cash the check before he set the house on fire? That's a really good question. Did he bequeath the check to Jimmy? I know. I think that was part of Chuck's horror when he realized that Howard was paying it out of his pocket. I think it's another brick of, okay, I'm just a burden to everyone. I'm alone, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to... Or I bet Chuck didn't even really think about it after a certain extent. So definitely not Chuck's. That was sitting in Chuck's pocket. He forgot about it, burned up in the fire. Will Jimmy get some money because isn't he the executor, or doesn't he have custody over Chuck? Wasn't that stuff dealt with in season 1? So wouldn't he be the next of kin of Chuck? So technically get Chuck's share. Did Chuck sign anything with Hamlin and McGill of the payout of his thing, or is it just, we'll sign papers soon, here's your first check? Like, we didn't see a moment where Chuck signed something with Howard to get the payment, so I wonder if Jimmy will end up getting any of that money over Howard's dead body, but perhaps. Or if Chuck's a real douche, he cashed it and killed himself so no one would ever have it. I think it would go to Jimmy, but I could be wrong about that. Because I don't know. Who knows? I don't know about that stuff. We need the law correspondence. Indie band name Half a Ponytail. I could hear the songs now. And then tomorrow I rode. Oh, sorry. If I'm gonna do that, I have to put. And then tomorrow I rode around with my half, and then I went out for a sail with my half ponytail. No, it's horrible. Sorry, horrible. So yeah, off to Kim. He's taking care of her, making her drink some Gatorade. She comes out of bed in her PJs. He feeds her some eggs, and she's upset about this one-handed crap's gonna get old. He asks for coffee, says no more Gatorade, and asks her if she wants the ibuprofen or the good stuff, and she answers, Jimmy, it's always the good stuff. Give me the good stuff. Now, she doesn't let him feed her. That's they may cross lines. And ultimately, it gets into this conversation where Jimmy relents about the office.
We'd definitely take a haircut if we broke it, but we are allowed to sublet. Might be our best option. Furniture's mostly rented month to month, so that's not an issue. For you, I think you need a desk, some file cabinets, a Westlaw terminal, and haven't figured out Francesca yet. That's another conversation. All that sound okay?
Are you sure about this?
Now, this is just another example of Jimmy taking responsibility. He's blaming himself for this situation. And I mean, ultimately, it is Jimmy that pushed her to have to work harder to kind of support the situation. But Jimmy was covering his side. Kim, I like Kim in this moment. She takes responsibility for her own situation. She tries to take it off Jimmy. I don't think because she cares about him. I think because she's really just like, no, this is my fucking shit right now. I did this to myself. I got in that car. Yeah, you pushed me to work harder because you fucked shit up and got into this war with your brother. But ultimately, you didn't push me to get 10 jobs. You were paying your nut You were covering your side, and regardless of how he was doing it, she didn't really go into that. She wanted to do this on some level. Jimmy didn't manipulate her into adding all this extra business or anything like that. The situation Jimmy put her in sucked, because Jimmy puts people in sucky situations sometimes, but it was on her, and I like how she totally takes complete responsibility for herself. She goes, no, I got in that fucking car myself with 6 hours sleep.
I mean, even with the sandpiper money?
Look, after everything, I don't give a shit about the office.
Ahmed, I think she can. I think she can use that one arm, and I think she's going to thank Jimmy. I have a feeling Jimmy's getting more in the next couple of weeks. That blockbuster Kill a Mockingbird night, Jimmy's getting a lot of thanks for the support he's showing her right now. She does seem to be feeling Jimmy in a way she wasn't before. I think it has been hard for her to unwind, but she has that moment, that rock bottom moment where she realizes again, I think, that she's doing it herself, that it's not Jimmy. Jimmy let her off the hook, and she's still being obsessive and going into everything in the scene that we're going to get with her and Francesca in a little bit. So
can I start looking for a tenant?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there. Oh,
I could have killed someone,
here we go.
Jimmy.
Sorry, I keep forgetting when you're watching something on television, the pauses don't seem as long as if we were listening to the audio. And I'm not trying not to cut off a line of dialogue because I wanted to get to this Kim thing. This is ultimately the point that I wanted to listen to it. But the pregnant pauses when you're listening to audio are fucking infuriating sometimes. Intern, edit that. Oh, Phil, I can't edit this shit. You go on right after the fucking show. I know, I'm sorry. Get to work. Work harder.
Yeah, yourself.
I worked most of last week on maybe 6 hours of sleep, and then I crossed 3 lanes of traffic, and I don't remember any of it.
Look, you were just doing what you thought you had to do because of me.
You didn't make me get in that car. That was all me.
Right there. All of that for thank you, Quixote. You can sit in you can proctor, is that what they call it? You can sit in on any of our classes here, Quixote. Always welcome. You will have to deal with Broke's shame bell, but that's okay. So yeah, we can call her Lefty Wexler now. So yeah, she's been going 6 hours a week. So Kim completely, to me in that situation, isn't taking Jimmy off the hook because she cares about him. She does care about him, but if she was pissed at him, if she really blamed him completely for the situation, she would call him out in this moment. She appreciates him letting her off the hook, but she knows getting into that accident was on her for not sleeping, for fucking showering at the gym and not coming home for days and weeks at a time. I feel a burp coming, excuse me. Oh yeah, there we go. I turned away and I'm looking at the camera like I'm on the camera right now, like there isn't a fucking image of Cheech and Chong and Goofy on the screen. So Kim got herself fucked up. So our next scene is the scene that some people may have already watched before the episode aired because it was the sneak peek scene. And it was not that before this point the episode wasn't interesting to me, but I feel like I don't even know at what time this point in the episode came. I feel like from this point on, the episode got really good with everybody's storyline. I think what's great about Better Call Saul is that it is a slow burn at times. So you keep expecting, or I keep expecting it sometimes to change up, but it is what it is. In the beginning of this episode, melted in. It got you acclimated to what's going on in the situation. Then the end of the episode just hits you with these complete high notes. And I don't give a shit what anyone says. The cliffhangers that we got left on aren't cliffhangers. We know what fucking happens to Hector, and we know that, and I'm sorry, Chuck did not hide under a dumpster. I know this is AMC, but Chuck is dead. They're keeping it up. They're not even keeping it up in the air. Peter Gould basically said it. So why are they doing that? Chuck is dead. Is Chuck alive or dead? Who shot Monty Barnes? They're not doing something like that. Unless they're doing it to be funny. So I feel like we did get closure, and in some weird warped way, I want more of Better Call Saul, and I think we will probably get a season 4, but this also could serve as some sort... No, it couldn't. We need more. We need more Jimmy stuff. It even could, because Jimmy said that line to Francesca later in the episode where he said, "If I ever open up another office, it's gonna be with you." I mean, we don't. If the show did not get picked up for season 4, I don't want to scream from the bloody murder, but this is one of my probably my second favorite show on television right now besides Game of Thrones. But the ratings are not doing well. And hopefully AMC, Vince and Peter have earned enough credit on AMC that they'll let them close out the show the way they want to close out the show with a 4th season and end things. But it is, again, I hate to say it, they could have announced on, and I didn't watch The Talking Dead. I'm not even looking at the live motherfucking chat right now, so I could just be talking my head out of my ass. I know some of you guys finished it. At any point on the show did they announce season 4 is a go, or were they very tongue-in-cheek about whether it's happening? So I think AMC will give it to them, but it's weird that it hasn't been announced yet. And I'm sorry, I've gone this far. Mike wasn't even in the episode. We didn't even get one moment of Mike. So we need more Mike. That couldn't have been the last episode of Better Call Saul. I mean, Mike's storyline could have been closed off too, ultimately. We see him getting his money with Lydia. He works for Gus. I mean, at any point in time, they could close off the story. It's just, we don't know how Saul and Kim end off. We don't know Cinnabon Gene. We didn't get any more Cinnabon Gene this episode. We definitely need more of the black and white stuff. Ahmed says, if Better Call Saul gets canceled, I'm going to murder Franklin and Bash fan. They will get destroyed. Better Call Saul's ratings better be higher than Fear the Walking Dead. I know that much. Oh my God, stop pissing me off, Phil. The thought of Fear the Walking Dead continuing in Better Call Saul is just too much right now. It really is, but ultimately it's a scary thought that they haven't announced it yet. Why haven't they announced it? They fucking... talking. I couldn't think of the word talking right there because I'm so fucking scared. I'm so fucking frustrated. I'm so horrified that I'm so fucking horrified that I can't believe that this show has not been picked up yet. I'm triggered. Fuck it, call AMC and complain. It's time. It's fucking time. What the fuck's going on with my situation? Let me click this. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I've been neglecting my duties as a fucking host because I'm ranting tonight. But we have a couple of voicemails, and it's time to play a couple of voicemails. I'll get back into the recap in a little bit, but let's do it. First of all, let's listen to some guy. I don't know who this fucker is. Some dude named Dave. I think it's some poor guy named Dave, maybe?
Hey, Phil.
Fuck, why cancel it? Are they going to do 96 episodes of The Walking Dead every year? I agree. What are they going to do? They're going to do Walking Dead. They're going to do Walking Dead Alaska, and we're going to see ice zombies. They're going to call them ice walkers or something like that. Let's listen to this guy. Let's listen to this broke Dave guy.
Hey, David. No. David broke, it doesn't matter. Anyway, 2 questions. For starters, was Kim fucked up in the face like after that car accident in the previous episode? Because I don't remember her face being that messed up. And second...
I agree it didn't seem that messed up in the initial accident, but sometimes, and I know even simply when I got hit in the face with baseballs several times as a kid, like initially, even for like hours afterwards, I'd be fine. And then the bruises and the marks would show up later in the evening when everything kind of settles in. So it could just be that in the moment, I'd have to rewatch the last episode and see how superficial it seemed. In the moment, we just saw her right afterwards before the wounds really started to set in. So we didn't get a perfect glimpse of that. There's a funny story about the way they were shooting that scene where she drove off the road and got out of the car where all the papers are rolling out of the car. I guess the wind was really bad in the desert that day, and there were a lot of outtakes of her being just completely mummified by all the paper to the point where there's a guy hiding in the trunk holding paper, throwing papers one at a time out of the trunk. They had to do that scene so many fucking times. Yeah, bruises do take time. Yeah, do we call AMC? Get me the AMC hotline, and we'll call. If anyone can get me the AMC hotline, I'm gonna do it. Do it.
Did Gus know what Nacho was planning? Because he immediately just went down the floor and like started to resuscitate Hector. And then after that, when the ambulance left, he was like, you just like give Nacho that devil-eyed stare there, like you motherfucker, you just did this here. Or maybe he did know, I don't know. But yeah.
You're with Gus. And we're going to get to that in a little bit, but ultimately, I think Gus it's what he was saying to Mike, death is too simple for Hector. He wanted to bleed Hector out. Make him make an ass of himself. Make him tell the boss to go fuck himself and keep doing it over and over again. Keep embarrassing him. Destroying him on every possible way possible. And then when he had no more life to him, then you cut off his balls. Then maybe a couple of years later, you cut off a toe. Then maybe let him die. So ultimately, Nacho forced the issue. And I think Gus made sure he was alive because, again, death is too good. That's why he did CPR on him. Gus doesn't want Hector to die, ever. Even to the point where later in Breaking Bad, when he's in the wheelchair, and which this is leading to, whether it's the first of many, whether it's the first stroke or he has another stroke, whatever, you always get the feeling, even to the end, that ultimately becomes Gus's undoing. If anyone actually has watched Better Call Saul without watching Breaking Bad, spoiler alert, I guess. Gus's ultimate demise comes from never wanting to kill Hector, from wanting to hold on to it too much. Like, he could have killed Hector for years, many times. Anytime he wanted to go into that, the facility that Hector was in, or way before that, in this situation, let Mike do it. Let not resuscitate him. All the situations. Gus's urge to cause pain on this man because of what he's done to him and because of the wrongs. His vendetta is what ultimately gives Walt that edge that he needs to find that one in on what other than that is an ironclad criminal that had no other way for Walt to really get to him. Seemed to just know every single move Walt would make. So ultimately, while we watch, like with Mike, start to get in business with him, we watch Mike take each step to his own death. We watch the same for Gus. And we watch Gus make mistake after mistake, even though he's doing so many great things in the way he's building his business and operating his criminal empire. But his ego is just going to fucking kill him. And it makes me just want to scream at him, just let the fucker die and be done with it. And then go piss on his grave every once in a while if you really want to. Take a dump there too. Who cares? But let the dude be dead. Yeah, Gus is a vengeful fuck. Not even CPR the right way. Face palm from Nurse Timo. Nurse Timo! Oh, yeah. Joe would be saying the same thing, by the way. So, I love hearing your voice, Broke. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. But speaking of someone else's voice, I love fucking hearing. And sorry I didn't play this earlier. He called a while ago. And lots of love to our buddy And thank you so much, as always. As I gotta scratch my nose, but I don't care. I know you guys well enough. You can watch me do it. It wasn't a pick, it was a scratch. It was clearly a scratch, not a pick. Scratch, scratch, not a pick. And who cares if I have to pick it? I'll hide behind the chat. Oh, yeah, I totally just picked my nose. I didn't really. But as always, one of our favorite callers. And I always overhype him before the call. So I'll say, yeah, here he is with another fucking, another message from the one and only Big J.
Hey, Phil, big fucking J over here. Yeah, listen, man, I'm watching your show. I'm watching this little fucking dweeb interview. This guy gets on my fucking nerves. Does the talking Saul, the guy who interviews people, but I'm watching that, and I'm watching your show on YouTube. Yeah, I was right with you, man. I was getting a little bit down. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you know me, and you love the artistic shit and the montages, but I'm like, come on already. Like, pick this shit up, man.
Yeah, the first half of the episode was definitely slow, and I feel the same way. It's okay. I like last week's episode a lot. I know some people, it wasn't necessarily my favorite, but I like the pacing of it. I feel like the beginning of this episode, we did get stuff we needed to happen, but they could have sped it up a little bit. I'm not complaining, but a lot, because I definitely love the second half of this, the 3/4 of this episode. But the first half of the episode, I wrote, this is depressing me. This is sad.
And like you, I enjoyed the ending. When fucking Hector finally took the flop there, and finally with Chuck when he kicked over the lantern, I mean, it was good. It was a good episode. Listen, we love the show, and it was a great fucking. It's a great show, man. It's just it's just a little. I'm used to the slowness, man. It was just a little dark, man. I like the fucking, I kind of miss, like when Better Call Saul was into all the colors of New Mexico. I feel like I lost that a little bit somewhere,
Yeah, I think it's showing the progression of showing Jimmy's demise into darkness. They're depicting that through the colors and through, and I agree that there wasn't a lot of. I like the mixture of having the comedy in there too, and it still has its moments. But with this and with last week's episode, with the old woman and the mean girl patrol and stuff, this was some dark shit, and I loved it. But it definitely at times Jimmy makes you feel icky. Everything that watching Chuck go crazy was an icky. I have to watch the train wreck sort of kind of feeling, and they're eliciting all these emotions, and I think they're doing what they want to do. And that's what's great about Better Call Saul, that I don't think they give a shit about the ratings. They're like, we did our opus with Breaking Bad. This is all, and they talk about this a lot in the Better Call Saul Insider podcast. They're all on borrowed time here. They're like, we're doing this because we want to do this, not because we give a shit if AMC cancels us or not, or this another thing, whatever. That's probably why they're just like, yeah, we're doing our fucking shit, and that's fucking awesome. I love that. And you know what kind of show it is, and it is what it is. But it definitely fills you with a lot of heavy feelings, especially this season. This season is way heavier than other seasons in my mind. Sorry, Big J, I cut you off.
But nah, I enjoyed it. Jimmy kind of went from Saul. He kind of went back to Jimmy, like when he fucking, he felt bad for his brother. He felt bad for the lady. That was a little weird, And he's gonna go back to being Saul. The secretary's gonna go back on him. So it's like. So now at least we see what's going on with Chuck. We see what's going on with fucking Hector. I'm not sure what's going on with Kim. I think Kim's going to be around in the end. I think she's always around. Because Saul was fucking like a happy guy. He was a happy guy, in Breaking Bad. So he couldn't have been that depressed, man.
Yeah, I was talking about that last week too, Jay. I kind of agree with that we don't know if Saul was with Kim during the time of Breaking Bad, and he didn't actually leave her until he went off to Omaha. We don't know. We know that little about Saul Goodman and about from the Breaking Bad perspective. We never followed him home. We just saw him in the office, and there's no reason to think. I mean, whether Kim maybe left him, or they broke up or whatever, but ultimately they could easily have been together that whole time. And yeah, I was talking about that last week. I think that's a definite possibility.
But anyway, bro, I left you a long voicemail. I hope you play it, and I guess I'll talk to you soon, bro. Hopefully there's a season next year. I mean, there's gonna be. They just have to dot the I's and cross the T's, it looks like. But yeah, I enjoyed the season, man. Big fucking J, over and out. Give my best to Joe.
Lots of love, Big J, and please, 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 Big J, if you happen to still stick with Game of Thrones and you're watching it this season, definitely leave some voicemails anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or if you're just fucking around and want to say hi over the course of the year between now and when Better Call Saul comes. Because Big J, we always love having you, and we know some people come and hang out at the show during certain programs we talk about, and some of our fuckers stay around for multiple shows. But Big J, you're the fucking best, so definitely please poke your head in once in a while and say hi to us. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. So now that I've had that personal love fest with Big J, well, let me play the porn music here. I love Big J. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the word was first. Yeah, Chuck's fiery temper really cost him his life. It's true. So yeah, we get that sneak peek scene. Back to our recap. The sneak peek scene with Nacho bringing Hector to his father's shop, and Nacho's trying to mitigate the situation as much as possible and say, listen, I'll handle the whole situation. You don't have to deal with my father. And Hector's like, no, where's Daddy? Where's Puppy? We gotta find Puppy. Oh, there he is. And how's it going? I'm your friend. Don't worry about it. And then the father just ignores him, and then he puts money on the table, and Hector goes, oh, we're better now? And his father goes, no, well, get out, please. And Nacho's just like, Dude, I told you to chill. Why the fuck aren't you chilling? What are you doing to me? You're putting me in a real awkward position here, Dad. This dude could kill you at any time. Do you really want to die? Think about your niece, your nephew, mom. Think about everybody. You really want to die here? You might hate me, but you'll love the rest of the family. Take the fucking money, you idiot. So he picks up the money, but Hector just gives him the, I don't trust you vibe and walks out of there. And Nacho runs after Hector. He's like, listen, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? And Hector goes, I don't trust your father, and I'm going to probably kill him. He didn't say that. He didn't say the second part, but that's ultimately what he said. He goes, I don't trust your dad. Your dad fucking sucks. And Nacho's like, he's old-fashioned. He'll learn his way. No, he won't. He disrespected me, and I've killed men for less. So your dad's pretty much dead. Anytime I feel like having one of my thugs do it because I'm too lazy and he's not even worth my time. Dead. We didn't start the fire. Anyway, if anyone finds that AMC hotline number, please give it to me so we can call at the end of the show and voice our concerns about Better Call Saul having to be renewed. So let's go to the next scene, which is Francesca and Kim, where this is an interesting scene where Francesca,
Mr. Gatwood.
Francesca starts pushing Kim back into work. Not really pushing her, but just facilitating Kim getting back into work full-time and trying to get all the clients, basically everything she was doing before. And Kim goes right full force into it. Like, I'm going to do this. Give me one day, and I can reschedule this meeting. I can do this, that, another thing. But then some ominous music kicks in. As she looks at her schedule, starts to think, and she gets this look like, what's wrong with me? And Kim says, just push everything out of the way. Push everything out of the way, and I need you to give me a ride. And she gives a ride to 2003's favorite location.
Accident and the recovery, she's just not going to be able to.
Blockbuster Video to rent some movies.
Oh, of course. I'll tell her. And again, she is...
Fran's making some calls, getting some movies too. They're at Blockbuster. Oh, I miss going to Blockbuster. Oh yeah, I miss it so fucking much. I miss those motherfucking late fees that ultimately I never had to pay. I calculating how much fucking money I wasted on those stupid fucking late fees because... sorry. But, so they're in Blockbuster, and it's a lot of fun. So Kim says, fuck it, dude, let's go bowling. So then we see, well, I'm sorry, I turned myself up too much. Oh, there I am, bad. The actor who played Don Hector was in Oz, was on the show Oz. Yes, he was. Antonio Napa was his character's name, and he was ultimately... Oz spoiler alerts for anyone who hasn't seen Oz yet. He was doused by a needle by Adam Bisi and then eventually put into a different ward on Oswald campus and smothered in a pillow for writing a book about the mafia. Yep, he was great in that show. So, oh, thank you, Quixote. And as Quixote said, if you're enjoying yourself and you're watching this live, please definitely hit a like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join on in. Or, unsubscribe and subscribe again. Just for fun. No, don't unsubscribe. I shouldn't tell people that. Phil, why are you telling people to unsubscribe? What voice was that? Who are you? Stop talking to me. Oh, Phil, who are you? Why are you talking to me? What's going on? Oh, Phil, I'm sailing in on a boat. I'm sailing in on a boat, and I'm talking to you. You fuck you. Silly little guy. Okay, so Jimmy he goes to Chuck's house. This is where he tries to make amends with Chuck, and he's like, listen, guy, we've had our issues, but I care about you. Let's talk.
Jimmy, I know you don't want to see me, but I just want to know you're okay.
Bang.
Come on, Chuck, I just want to see your face. Come on, Chuck, just need a minute.
I want to see your face.
All right.
I'm all right, Jimmy.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm glad you're all right. Can I come in? Just talk for a minute?
So we get one more Jimmy and Chuck scene that I like that they gave us this.
How?
Jimmy comes into the house and he's
told you I'd get better.
He's amazed at how everything's beautiful.
Sure I did. But Chuck...
Jimmy's so happy for him in this moment, but Chuck says, cut the shit, what do you want? And he says, something happened in my life.
Beyond proof of life.
Well, let's listen to them talk about it. Fuck me.
Something happened, and it made me think about what went down between you and me, and so I wanted to say in hindsight,
I'm great, Jimmy. I like electricity. Light bulbs are my friends.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's all on me. It's not. But if I had to do it all over again, I would maybe do some things differently. I just thought you should know that.
That you have regrets?
Yeah. I have regrets.
Why?
Why do you have regrets? You suck.
Because you're my brother. There aren't that many.
Brother means shit to me. I love that bullshit. It means nothing to me. Fuck you, Chuck. And fuck you to people that don't think family bonds mean that much. Because sometimes they do, and some people care about those things and care about the relationships and the histories and the shit that you've been through. But Chuck is just a fucking shit. He doesn't give a shit about that. And I don't care if people think that he was doing this to let Jimmy off the hook or something like that. I don't think he was doing any of that. I think he was being a spiteful fucking asshole. Sorry. I have to calm down.
McGill's left, and I think we should stick together.
No. Why have regrets at all? What's the point?
What do you mean?
Well, look at you. You're in so much pain. Why are you putting yourself through all this?
See, Chuck almost could say something good to him here. Instead of, you're a good person, Jimmy. Don't put yourself through much pain. Don't try to flatter me. Don't try to do things for me. But instead he makes it in, you're an evil person. Everything you do is going to hurt people. You're not a mean person, but you're a hateful person. Chuck can't even do it. Can't even give him absolution on his way out. He has to try to break him down and make him feel even worse.
Because I wanted to tell you
That you have regrets. And I'm telling you, don't bother. What's the point? You're just going to keep hurting people.
that's not true.
Jimmy, this is what you do. You hurt people over and over and over. And then there's this show of remorse.
It's not a show.
I know you don't think it's a show. I don't doubt your emotions are real. But what's the point of all the sad faces and the gnashing of teeth? If you're not going to change your behavior, and you won't, why not just skip the whole exercise?
Fuck you,
In
Chuck.
the end, you're going to hurt everyone around you. You can't help it. So stop apologizing and accept it. Embrace it. Frankly, I'd have more respect for you if you did.
What about you, Chuck? You didn't do anything.
So that's the line that's good. That's the lead to Saul Goodman line. If you just embraced what was about you, I'd have more respect for you. And on some level, but why do you have to make him feel bad? He doesn't just hurt people. He just happens to be a con man. He's not the kind of person you are. Why can't you just embrace him and ultimately, through everything that you say here, say, but through all of that, you're my brother and I love you. Okay, everything he said there could be interpreted as true, that what he was saying to him, kind of pushing him in the direction of just going full Saul Goodman and full slipping Jimmy and stop trying to be someone he's not, to please anybody. Be proud of yourself, which goes back to what I was saying at the very beginning, where a lot of what Jimmy hates himself, therefore he doesn't care about fucking himself over so he can get away with a lot of shit. When you don't care about the outcome of yourself ultimately, because you don't think you're worth much more, then you'll do anything. And Chuck here could have said all of that and then topped it off with, but you're my brother and I love you and I appreciate you wanting to come back and be here for me. We're not perfect, but let's be here for each other. Yada, yada, yada. And I'm never going to stop trying to get you to be a better person, Jimmy. And you're never going to stop thinking I'm a fucking, asshole. But I'm always going to fucking be there for you. Okay? Can we stop this shit? Blah, blah, blah. You stop manipulating people, Jimmy. I'm okay, Chuck. I will. Whatever. Become a used car salesman. I don't know, whatever. But no, Chuck has to go for the jugular and make sure he hurts.
You're just an innocent victim?
Let me.
Hey, Angelo. Great to see you, man. Thank you so much for jumping on in.
Put your mind at ease, Jimmy.
And Tom.
You don't have to make up with me. We don't have to understand each other. Things are fine the way they are. Hey.
No.
I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Here we go.
But the truth is, you've never mattered all that much to me.
Whoa, that's even worse than I remembered. You never mattered much to me. And then he just walks away. You know what? You guys, all of you, you never really mattered much to me. Like, what the... I can't even do that for too long. Like, what the fuck, Chuck? What the fuck, Chuck? That's such a dick move. And then he just goes away, walks up, sits at his fucking desk, and Jimmy's just sitting there waiting for something, waiting for a response, a goodbye, any sort of thing. But no, Chuck's just, no. No. Yeah, Timo, can't take me seriously, but I'm being mean. Okay, I can't. Let me try. fuck you guys. I hate you guys so much. Screw you guys. I'm going. No. Tom himself, great to see you, buddy. That line by Chuck was just so brutal. Never mattered much, but yet he took him to court and did all this shit. Whatever. Episode was good, Angelo. Good topping to this season. If you don't want to be, I want you to stay here and talk, but I wouldn't be mindful of spoilers. Thanks, Tom. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, cruel world. So fuck that. So then we go to Chuck in bed and starts this scene. I'm not going to call it a montage, but this very uncomfortable, nails across the chalkboard kind of feeling scene. Even the music was on the verge of like a noir kind of thing. It was a strange music choice for the scene, and I'm not saying it was wrong. It just created, I think it was right because it added to the uncomfortable feel of what was going on for me. And I just felt so uncomfortable watching this, but I could not stop watching it. I stopped taking notes in a lot of this part just because it was fucking. Okay. There's a couple of scenes before we get to the, but ultimately as we get, it's. I'm jumping the gun of the scene I'm talking about because we get to Chuck in bed hyperventilating. He takes a pill, and he does his gold chair, green chair, brown journal thing to calm down. He writes in his journal. He takes an Ambien. The music gets dark. He can't sleep. He comes downstairs after having an electro fit, shuts down all the electricity in the house, and goes to sleep. But he can't. We get this like crazy, amazing overview shot of him in the bed. And then we get to see Jimmy. We cut over to Jimmy here to see Irene. He has balloons and such and cat toys, and he's real happy. He's trying to make this good.
As beautiful as ever.
Why don't you come in? Can I get you some tea?
Oh, I don't want to be a bother. I just have a couple things to drop off.
Enjoy, Angelo. Thank you so much for checking in. Lots of love. Go hug yourself, my friend, in the good way. Corey, yeah, so in the end, Jimmy or Howard So in the end, was Jimmy or Howard Chuck's downfall? I kind of think Howard was the nail in the coffin. I'm going to do that stupid thing where I think Chuck was his own fucking demise. But I think it was a combination of both. I think Chuck's overestimation of himself. I don't think Jimmy. I think the truth of the matter is more about the Hamlin McGill thing of never being a lawyer again that drove Chuck to this situation. So I think you're right, and it has more to do with Hamlin than Jimmy. I think he could give shit house less about Jimmy, except for the fact that Jimmy embarrassed him and caused him to lose his license, or not lose his license, oh shit. Well, I was about to lose it. I just had some electricity power failure. I'm going to warn you guys right now, my house just did like a flash thing. So if I lose electricity, I highly apologize. And this was a great show. Great to talk to you guys. I'll stay on for as long as possible. That's one of me. Let's hope we don't have an explosion. Oh shit. You guys see the blinking lights? Chuck has invaded my house. Yeah. I'm turning off one of the lights. Maybe it's the light. I don't know. I feel like Chuck, I've been talking too much shit about Chuck, so the electricity is attacking me now. Yep, Chuck was born. It's like that movie Shocker. I don't know if anyone's seen that is it 90s or is it 80s? I think it's early 90s. Horror movie Shocker. It's a Wes Craven movie where the villain of the movie can turn himself into electricity. And that's how he escapes through jail. He gets sent to the electric chair and he turns himself into electricity and he starts killing people. The end of the movie is him jumping into the television and a whole bunch of shit. I know I finally talked so much shit. It was 90s movie. Thank you. Shocker. God, I love that horrible movie. Chuck is haunting Phil. He really is. I know, I almost short-circuited. Could you guys see the lights blinking? Fuck. That would have been I would have had to capture that one part. Mia getting electrocuted right there, or burning up the bed. It's not funny, but that's kind of funny. Imagine that there was just like suddenly a fire here, and I burned up like Chuck, and you guys had to like watch the live stream. It would be horrible. It would be horrible. But I feel like, you know, I'd be happy for you guys on the way out. Some thought in my mind, like while I was going, I'd be like, wow, those guys really got to watch something. I'm sorry. This is getting dark. But it's a dark episode, some dark matter in this episode. But so Jimmy sorry guys. People are like, click. Close this crazy asshole out. I'll try to smile if that happens. Excuse me. Okay, no. How soon do you turn it off, though? When it really comes down to it, it's not going to happen. I just mean as a bigger question. If that started to happen, how long would it take you to watch, or would you watch? I would probably turn it off immediately, or like hide my head and run. But those ladies were awful. We have this whole thing. She has no integrity. Jimmy blames himself. He stirred the pot, and they go, no, blame her, not you. So then we go to Chuck going outside, walking out back. He's having another breakdown. And this is the scene I was talking about. Chuck is trying to disconnect all
I've shut off all
the power. He's trying to get everything turned off.
Yes,
it's Wednesday is the soonest he can get it turned out.
All I can think is that there's something in the house that isn't.
Quixote said I'd watch. You'd have to, right? I'd keep it on, but I'd hide my head.
Someone over to find it and disconnect it.
I would look away, but the headphones would be.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Timo, that's what I would do. I'd look away, but I'd keep the headphones on, so you could hear my final discussion.
Wednesday.
I love you guys. So when he says Wednesday, the music starts kicking in. And this kicks this weird music as he's hiding. He starts shutting off all the power, but he goes outside and the power meter outside still showing a reading. So he's going around slowly but surely trying to figure out, where the power is. So he starts feeling around the walls. Then he starts like banging into the walls, drilling holes into the walls, taking down all the pictures. And it's just sad music as he's poking, ripping his walls apart, completely apart. I keep waiting for him to find Waldo or Jimmy Hoff or something. Sorry, that's all over his house. He's destroying it, the library, throwing books down, ripping them, axes to the wall, camera perspective, Michael McKean killing the camera with an axe. It's just great. It just doesn't stop. He just keeps going and going, ripping the walls. Finally, he finds a wire and he thinks he has it. And he's like, yes, I found it. The golden Schmidt, whatever they call it. So, sorry, Harry Potter fans. And he goes outside and he looks and holy shit, it's still a meter. And he just goes, fuck this. And he smashes the shit out of the meter outside. It was just I felt so bad for Chuck watching it. I couldn't help it, but it was so sad, and I could not look away from it. The music was just this music. It's such a weird choice for it, but like I said, it made me feel significantly uncomfortable, which is what it was trying to do, and it was successful at it. Yeah, Chuck went full Negan on that meter. Shake my head, not the golden snitch. Sorry, Quixote. That one was for analysis wherever he is. My OCD kicked in when you went into the bathroom. I'm like, what the fuck? You're making a mess. I would need the final words in that kind of situation. If I know I'm fucked, like I know I'm blocked in here, I would definitely have to say some shit. before he said, "Oh, you fuck mother cocksuck, fucking a fucking burning house, you fucking son of a fucking cock piss fuck shit." That's probably what it would sound like, to be honest with you. So okay, so he goes all over the house and ripping the walls. It's just a tough scene. Tough. Next step, he's going to be killing people with a steel dildo while dressed up in a Bugs Bunny costume, said Corey Mitchell at this point in time. Timo says, "You need some adamant and a geodom. I am stat. Guess I always thought he was out there, but holy fuck, homie is just beyond crazy. Get the feeling he's going to kill himself," says Corey Mitchell at 10:54 p.m. "I thought he was too. I thought I saw a gun behind the wall," said Timo. You should, Timo. Please. Celebrate. Shots for all. And banana mamas and lots of fruity drinks and celebrations and rants and silliness. Please. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. What the fuck are you? It's like I'm going to be there and having a good time. Fuck. But yeah, smoke away. So then we go to a different side of things. Not Mike. No Mike. But we follow Nacho as he's in the car watching Hector, or waiting. His car rolls up. Nacho locks and loads and heads and runs over to follow Hector. And he's going to try to shoot Hector right here, right now. He's walking up to the door, about to do the deed. And another car rolls around the corner and it pulls in. He hides the gun. It's the other thug guys. They ask him if he's got the message, and he is strapped. So Hector comes out saying that they're coming. They wait, and here we go to this scene. Please send me the bill. So dark, Quixote. It's a dark episode of Better Call Saul. It brings the honest dark out of me. Let me take another drink so I can turn into Uncle Popcorn. Uncle Popcorn's a different podcast. sorry about that. Spill double toasted. Uncle Ketchup, I guess. Oh my goodness. So here we go. Oh yes, we got.
Don Hector, Don Eladio wanted me to speak with you.
So Bosa comes here.
Misunderstanding.
Bosa comes here with Gus to have a conversation. Let's settle our shits.
From now on, there will be only one route over the border for our product.
Yeah, Timo, I love that. I love that you're a double toasted fan as well, Timo. Fucking love those guys.
The chicken trucks. That is final. But you must understand, this is for efficiency only. There's no disrespect to you or your family.
What's he doing here?
The boss wants you to settle this.
I settle it right now, okay?
You have to work together. It's what the boss wants.
The boss can suck me.
I'd watch what I say if I were you.
Who you think you are? You should be kissing my ass right now. Me and my family, we built this whole business.
We all did together.
No! Salamanca did. Salamanca money. Salamanca blood.
You have to calm down.
That hacienda, I pay for it. And you treat us like dogs.
Hector, this is...
Oh, he's so fucking good.
Personal.
It is personal.
And here's where Nacho's plan comes in fruition. And Nacho, this is the look in his face while all this is happening, and the exchange that him and Gus have been having all season back and forth is just incredible. You can just read everything. Nacho is like a kid at a candy store in this situation, just pops into action and knows what he needs to do as Hector grabs those fake pills and starts to down them. Didn't work the first time, but it's going to work this second time, and at least help. Plus, Hector just went apeshit crazy. That didn't help out the situation either. At least Chuck got the electricity to stop in his house with that fire. That's very true. That's very true, my friend. That's a good one. Hey, welcome Baghead. Welcome Autumn. And Autumn, that's fucking awesome. Chuck is working on his flashback scenes. He is, and I think Michael McKean will definitely be on the show more just in flashbacks. I don't think he'll ever leave. If there's a season 4, Michael McKean will be a part of it. Just not Chuck in the present.
Call 911. Stash the guns. You should not be here when they arrive.
Yeah. I need an ambulance.
No te mueros, cabrón.
Outside the garage at the corner of that stick of drawer. My boss collapsed. I think he's having a heart attack.
No te mueros, cabrón.
And then we talked a little bit about this before. This is Gus rolls down and starts giving him CPR because Hector's too important. Fucking with Hector's too important for him to let Hector die like this. Nacho is so... I've been enjoying Nacho this back half. And I like that in the brief... One of the things I heard in the background during the Talking Blah show is him saying that when he first went on the show, they said, we have stuff for you to do later on. We'll get to you. And I'm glad that they got to him. This back half of the season was, he took over for Mike in this back half of the season, ultimately. Mike's storyline sort of slowed down, even to the point as Mike did not show up in the season finale. There was episodes where there were their crossover, and obviously Mike and Nacho dealt with each other, but it seems like at a certain point in this season, Mike sort of passed his main character baton over to Nacho, and then we became Nacho as a perspective character a bit more. And I like that. I wish we could have found a way to make Mike more of a part of the episode. And here's where I get whatever, cut a little bit at the beginning of the episode. I don't even know if you could have, but I guess Mike's at one of those places where what else could you have done with Mike this season? Like, he's got his money from Lydia. He's paying everything. He's in a sensible place. Again, how they work isn't like we have to put Mike in an episode. It's, would Mike work in this scenario? And Mike didn't work in the story that they needed to tell at the end of the season, so they didn't use him. And that's why that's why I don't get sick of the characters. So, they use him when he should use him. But I did miss not even seeing Mike in this episode at all. But I guess with him, I said this earlier, him and Lydia, him starting to get paid through Madrigal and seeing all of that, and him truly kind of going full force with his first real jobs with Gus. I mean, it's a good place for his arc to end this season. So I get why they didn't show him. I'm just greedy and want a little Mike. But I meant that kind of as a good thing, that this show is interesting enough and they've cast well enough that they get someone like the actor that plays Mondo. I don't know his first name, Mark Mondo. It's something like that. Knowing that they had him in their bag of tricks and that they could pull him out at some point in time when they had a certain arc for him. And maybe they got a little too fast on the Mike arc because the Mike arc led to Gus, and then they focused on Gus and Hector this season, so Mike could only do so much. And we set up even Mike wanting to kill Hector sets up Nacho later of why Gus would save Hector, of we got that information, why it makes sense, because we have the Gus having a conversation with Mike saying, no, death is too easy for Hector. But I love Nacho. Time for the Nacho series, says Baghead. Yeah, Nacho is great. And Nacho really did take over for a little bit from Mike. Great point, Phil, because I didn't realize that we didn't have Mike till well after the episode. Yeah, it just seemed like it was you're talking about not liking medical episodes. There's certain episodes of Scrubs where comes from different people's perspective than JD, and he touches somebody and then they start to become the focus character. It was almost like Mike touched Nacho at a point in time, and Nacho became that level of the focus of the show. So, but I like it, and I'm glad they gave him some stuff to do. He's a great actor, and his storyline was very interesting at the end of the season, and seeing him kind of go to work here, and right when Hector passed out, to pick up all of his pills, put the bunk pills in his pocket, and pull out the real pills, like he's been holding on to those the whole time, so that eventually it gets to the point where the ambulance worker's like, does he have a heart condition or whatever, and Nacho's like, yep. And he's been taking pills. Yep, here are the pills. And gives her the real pills. Fucking Nacho. Good fucking plan, dude. Gus looks at him like, I know what you did, dude. I know what you did, man. I know what you did. Maybe he knows or maybe he doesn't, but he definitely thinks something's up. Gus is a good reader of the situation, good on picking up on tells, good on just understanding people on base value. So I think he might not know exactly what happened, but he knows that Nacho is not upset about what just happened to Hector. And he can't understand why. Nacho is in glee for after everything goes. From beginning to end. Once Hector falls for the heart attack, Nacho's like, oh, I'm going to know. It's like he's going down a water slide at times. I have to rewatch to make sure it seemed that way to me. Like Nacho turned, like, woo, pick up the bills, set up the motherfucker. Better Call Mike and Nacho. I forget which show it was, probably ER, but they have the nerve to have someone talking while they were doing vents. And that's the thing. I can imagine being someone that is a medical professional, Timo, watching television medical stuff could trigger angry Timo in that sense, because you're like, that's not how they fucking do shit. I totally get that. Totally. Yes, that was great, and that look made me think that Gus knew something. He knows Nacho wants Hector to go. Yeah, he does, and knowing Hector, he has someone on the... Sorry. Knowing Gus, a lot of people, a lot of different characters. Knowing Gus, he probably has someone on the inside and knows what they're doing to Nacho's father in that situation, so... Or at least has an inkling of that, so Gus understands a lot, especially about that situation. He knows what Hector's going to do before Hector does it. And with Nacho, he's been watching him. That's not the first moment that they've made hinky eye contact. Some very hinky eye contact going on there. So then we come home to Saul coming home to, Jimmy coming home to Kim chilling. And I love Kim in this scene. She's dipping shit in shit and it tastes good. They're going to watch Monty Python or To Kill a Mockingbird again. And this is one of the first moments in the entire show.
Relaxathon 2003 coming
Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Complaints. Join me. Oh, dip it in the sauce.
That seems like overkill.
Trust me.
Yummy.
Monty Python.
Solid choice.
Or we could just watch To Kill a Mockingbird again.
Again?
Yeah, I watched it this morning. It was my favorite when I was a kid. I loved Atticus Finch.
All the girls were in love with Gregory Peck.
No, I wasn't in love with him. Well, a little, but no, I wanted to be him.
Fight the good fight, change the world.
Yeah, didn't you?
That was more Chuck's thing. But, I mean, the good news is you made it.
Oh. It'll be interesting to see the fallout since Mike knows about the pills. That's a very good point, Autumn. And, I mean, the anticipation to see Mike's reaction to what happened, especially considering his agenda and his vendetta that he has against the Salamancas, I'm very curious to see where that goes in season 4. If there's a season 4. No, there's going to be a season 4. I'm living in denial right now. I don't care. And someone said it. Corey was saying they can't add another season of another Walking Dead show. AMC needs original programming, and they need the critic darling show Better Call Saul, even if it's not getting ratings. So I think in the way that HBO protected The Wire and let them do one last season, even though it wasn't getting ratings for HBO, and at the time no one was really watching The Wire while it was on, HBO let them at least do one last season when they probably didn't want them to, or something like that. So hopefully AMC will run suit, and ratings or not, will let Peter and Vince end this thing the way they want to end it.
Yeah, I am. I'm changing the world by helping a mid-sized local bank become a mid-sized regional bank. Yay me.
So they have sort of a couple things. She's lovable. She says to Jimmy, stick to your strengths. And Jimmy talks to her about the Landry situation here.
Oh, shoot, that bridge is burned. Ashes.
And they go back and forth, and ultimately this leads to Jimmy deciding that he has one option, and finally has an option to figure out how to get out of this situation. How to make it good.
Jimmy. Okie dokie.
So he shows up at the retirement community.
Testing. Good morning.
And he's going to be the yoga instructor. And he does the cat, the cow position, long breaths. And the lawyer from Sandpiper, or not from Sandpiper, from the place where Jimmy worked. I can't think of the law firm right now. And what the fuck was it called? It was called something in Maine. Shit. This is a hippie trying to remember things. What is it called? Harrison, Maine, or something like that? What is it called? Better Call Saul gets Emmy nods. Unlike The Walking Dead, they better fucking renew this shit. Is there a rumor there's no more Better Call Saul, bro? The problem is it just hasn't been Davis in Maine. It has Timo. I think it could be that I saw Timo say that, but I got it right before, right as you said it. But thank you, Timo. I was getting there. Fucking Better Call Saul gets Emmy nods, unlike The Walking Dead. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping as well, that they get that kind of credibility, that because they're critics darling, because they get Emmy nods, AMC will keep them on, even though they might not be getting the ratings of The Walking Dead. But The Walking Dead's not getting ratings like The Walking Dead anymore. So hopefully they count DVR, they count people that watch it on Netflix. A lot of people don't watch shows in the way that they watched shows before. Ratings are kind of bullshitty.
I had to practically drag the information out of her that you filled her head and all of her friends.
Timo, I would be nowhere without you, my friend.
And the reality of the case.
So?
Literally. I wouldn't be able to do this without you, Timo. You're the best.
Does she know how much money you're going to make from this?
Nope. And again, I ask, so what?
These people trusted you, Jimmy.
Do you have any idea?
So this is where Jimmy gets into, he sets himself up to Frank Drebin while he's taking a piss, sort of thing, where he keeps the microphone on and goes outside and talks shit about the people. It's funny to hear.
Time I had to put in listening to their insipid ramblings about their sciatica or which grandchild disappoints them the most.
Damn right they trust me. I worked my ass off earning their trust.
Then you betrayed it.
If the only thing standing between me and $1 million is some old lady's tears, then I suggest investing in Kleenex.
You ruined her life because you wanted your money faster.
Who and who? Besides, not like she's got that much time left anyway.
You're disgusting.
And rich. Hey, everyone. Apologies. That was probably more like 20.
So he comes back in, and they're all hating him. They all run out on Jimmy's shame. And we see Irene has her friends back again. And he meets Erin outside. He thanks her for her playing the game really well and being able to keep up with him. And she goes, no, I just spoke how I really felt. You know, I mean what I said. You're fucking scumbag, Jimmy. And he thinks that ultimately they will rescind the payout and they'll want to continue with the case. And he said, yeah, they'll be back with you in a few hours, in a couple of days at most. So then we go back to Kim and Jimmy breaking down the office, and they unfortunately need to fire.
Looks like they can take me back. So
Francesca.
It's great. And if we ever get another office up, you'd be our first call.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Bye, Kim.
Bye.
So, okay.
She understands.
So yeah, they end up going back. It's funny that I played the dead noise and I didn't talk over the dead noise, but the dialogue finally was kicking in and I just shut it off. Great job there. So she tells him to kind of keep all his names and numbers. You never can tell when he may need it again. And again, as I was saying, I hope that there's a season 4, and I think there's going to be a season 4, but some of the ways that Kim talked in this could seem like they were just leaving it open to say, one day you'll be Saul Goodman. It's going to lead into that. You're going to do an office again. And if they needed to end it here, it would suck, but there's enough stepping stones for those particular directions to get to the Saul Goodman thing. So he packs up the office, and maybe one day we'll get an office again, yada, yada. Says to Francesca, maybe one day I will, if I have an office again, I will hire you. So then we go off to Chuck, who still can't sleep. His house completely destroyed. He's kicking his desk over and over again. With books on the floor, he kicks and he kicks as the lantern by the night of the darkened breath penetrates the city and burns Chuck to the ground. So yeah, Chuck keeps kicking the shit, knocks over the lantern, and ultimately, angrily, in a frustration kicking point of being completely frustrated with him putting himself in this position where nobody understanding him and the world, just him being too much for the world, cannot stop this, cannot battle, isn't strong enough. His brother, he doesn't, not even his brother. I don't even think he's thinking about his brother. I think he's thinking about the law. I think in therapy, I think that was what was important about the therapy session episodes, where we got into Chuck's head a little bit to understand that what's important to him is the law, is his work, is that the fact that one day he could get healthy enough so he could be in a courtroom again. And no, it's all gone. It's dead. Dun, 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 dun. He fucking decides to give up on it all, and he kicks over the fire and he burns himself up and he's shot down in a blaze of glory. No, and Chuck, a character, not a real human being, is burned to death. I have to throw that in for sensitive people. I'm talking about a character, not a real human being, and I treat television characters as such. Fear the Walking Dead really scratching the zombie bedrock there. Time for a Laverne and Shirley reboot. You mean there's not a Laverne and Shirley reboot? That hasn't happened yet? Damn, hearing this in hindsight is fucking disturbing. There's a Golden Girls reboot coming. I always thought that's necessary. I mean, that was such an amazing concept that couldn't just be its own show. They need to call it the Golden Girls Return. So Chuck ultimately succumbs to, I think it's the frustration and it's his disease that causes that. And obviously it was very hard and sad of a story. But I also think at some point Chuck had many chances and Chuck put himself in this position. And he made a decision that is going to hurt a lot of people. And I don't know if he made it because out of spite. It seemed in a sense he was just angry and pissed off as he did it. There wasn't sadness. There wasn't frustration in life, really. It was a fucking angry kick that did it. Oh, shit, Timo. Timo, look on the screen. We got Joe dancing on the screen. It worked. Timo donated. Holy shit. But yes, Chuck, rest in peace, buddy. You know, I feel for you and I feel for the anxiety you felt every day. But I think what caused you to make the decision that you did is because your ego got bruised. I ultimately think that the decisions that Chuck made to kill himself had less to do with his disease and more to do with the fact of his ego being bruised by the situation with Howard and losing his ability to be a lawyer. And yes, it also had to do with him. I think him deciding not to go to therapy was a big moment of a decision he made, and I understand it. So I'm a fucking asshole. Call me an asshole. Call me what you will. You're an asshole, Phil. You're what you will. Here we go, Timo. You get a spin of the wheel, and Joe dances on the fucking screen. He dances on the fucking screen, baby. Please don't get a shot. That's all I'm asking. No shots. No shots. No shots. There's more acting in that Joe dancing gift than 2 seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, says Corey Mitchell. Here we go, Timo. Lots of love. No whammies, no whammies. Every time there's a super chat donation, you get a spin on the wheel. You get a spin on the wheel. You get a spin. No, 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 no. Fuck, dude. Seriously? Timo, you have the magic touch. I think the wheel's broken. I think the wheel is broken. Yeah, you can go back and see it. Let me play this brief song while I go. I'll be right back, Timo. I'll be right back. What song should I play? Let's play this. I'll be right back. This is my Phil Moving. And that's the end of our episode of Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul, great episode. Season finale is great. It was ended the season on a really dark point with Chuck dying and burning in fires as we panned out. Excellently done just from a visual standpoint. Every moment of Better Call Saul is just made with painstaking care for us as a television viewer. Is it a show for everybody? No, some people might not like this kind of program that doesn't have a lot of flair to it in a lot of places. But if you look for it, the flair is there. And this is just a perfect ending to a really great season of Better Call Saul. So people are here just for Better Call Saul. Now's the time to kind of tune away. I might talk for a little while longer. I have to give Timo her due. Timo saw the Joe gift. Yes, here it is. It's the disease bro who died. That was the lamest disease. Sing a Michael Jackson song. Let me see. The way you make me feel, you really turn me on. You got me talking about things again. The only things that got ain't no baby, ain't no baby. Sorry, that was horrible. I'm sorry. Sorry to all Michael Jackson fans and just fans of everything, anywhere, all the time. That was pathetic. You never know, baby, how I feel inside, baby. Ooh, 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 ooh. Some more, touch my balls and touch my baby. Ooh, 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 ooh. Moonwalker was a very good video game. Zippity doo dah, zippity yay. Hee hoo. You don't zip up the way you make me feel. Shimo, shimo, shimo. I'll be right back, Timo. I gotta get a fucking bottle because you always land unshot, and it's ridiculous. No, it actually moved. It did land unshot. Reviewer commentary of your pick, but nope. But here we go. I'll be right back. Here's a little bit of some. the best thing in the world is Phil shutting up.
Shut the fuck up, fam. 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 Shut the fuck up, fam.
But yes, I said it a second ago, but for anyone that's tuned in just for Better Call Saul, you may want to tune off now. It's time for the Issues program. No, I'm not going to be on for too long, as it actually is, I do have to get up kind of early tomorrow.
Shut.
Yeah, Phil needs to shut the fuck up. That's porn music. Yeah, Timo always lands on shot. She did land on trumpet solo the other day. I owe her a trumpet solo. But again, it's like 1:30 in the morning. I can't really play trumpet right now. But she did land on shot right there, which is pretty fucking horrible. So I got to get the Grey Goose. I wish I'd lost my virginity to that song. Yes, that's a combination Tim me song. I wrote the music to that. Okay, let me do. It's the magical time, Phil. 1:30. That means, yeah, it is 1:30. Time to end the stream. And when we used to do the Zelda streams on the Dirty Issues channel, which you should check out for Taka stuff, and sometimes I do some video game streaming over there as well. I'd always say that I was going to end the stream at 1:30. It was like the magic time. Like, oh, 1:30, it's time to stop talking. You know, everything's been done at 1:30. But let's look. Oh, wait. Before we end things, I think we might. Do we? No, we don't. I thought we might have had one more. No, we do have a text, not a voicemail. Great season of Better Call Saul, Phil. You make the show better getting to watch you. Oh, no. I don't. I make the show worse from annoying. No, I appreciate that. Thank you, area code 78. Wow, so you're from my area. So thank you. I'm just stalling. I wish my controller quickly recovery too. I hope I don't miss out on when the DLC comes out. I literally want the DLC to come out and be able to play it. So here we go. I'm sorry. Here we go. Am I really doing this? This is fucking awful. Timo, thank you so much for the super chat donation. And to everybody, if you get a super chat donation, we have the magic wheel. These places on the wheel can easily be erased. So if anyone has specific things they want us to put on the wheel right now, we just have place fillers and stuff that I want to erase and add new things different times. So if anyone has any suggestions, you can jump in the Discord group. We have a whole group in Discord just for wheel suggestions. Or you can email me at igotissuesman@gmail.com for anything that you want me to put on the wheel, and we'll put on for the spin. For super chat donations, you donate, you get a spin. Our patrons get a spin a month, even though so Timo always almost time for Timo to get another spin. I've already given her an extra one. We got to give some other of our patrons. If you ask me and you're live on a stream, I will definitely give you free spins. So definitely look out for that. I also mentioned too one more time before I stop talking about Better Call Saul. Thursday evening, I will be on with Mark from Enchantment of Eternity on his channel with him and Don Willie to talk about the whole season of Better Call Saul. And I'm just stalling taking a shot. I really am. I'm just fucking stalling because I don't really want to do this. I don't, but I do love Timo, and she did donate. She did super chat, and we got a dancing Joe. Once the Joe dances, I can't not shot. I gotta break the exactly. There's no shots. There's no Joe rants. There's no push-ups. There's no trumpet solos or drum solos. I'm gonna break the wheel. Holy papoopies. Holy papoopies. I wish it wasn't 1 a.m. so I could go just play the fucking drum solo right now. Go move the Deep Space Nine curtain and bring out the drum set and start just hammering it down. So, Timo, thank you for the fucking love. And thank you to everybody for tuning into this live stream. I guess no one wants to hear me talk about nothing. I mean, I could talk about nothing for a very, very long time. Like tomorrow, I'm going to a sleep study. I have to go to a study. Not that I'm like, well, I've talked about this before. I snore. Only when I drink, but sometimes I snore and so I have to go and sleep in the hospital. And they're gonna put on the machine to study me while I sleep to make sure I'm not breathing or something like that. So I'm gonna have to spend a night at the hospital. I'm really worried about my sandwich activity. I should stream from there. I should bring the phone and do a daily issue from the actual hospital doing the sleep study. I'm sure it's gonna be a fun time. Are we all gonna be sleeping in one room? Is it gonna be like slumber party style? I don't know. It's kind of freaking me out, just from a standpoint of like I don't know how to talk to people. Oh my god, is this the first Prison Break review when Phil went all opera on us? That was probably the best thing. No, it's not that kind of thing. Oh, Timo, I rolled it down. Timo's the best girl in the mall of town. Oh, Timo, you are the best. She made me take a shot and now I'm touching my breast. Oh, Timo, this is a much better song to make up. Timo, your last donation made me have to make a song. Oh, Timo, won't you sing along? Oh, Timo, la la da da boo da 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 boo, sa 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 sa. You sound like that Fifth Element song. No, I don't. Kinda. No, you don't. Kinda. So super do, Uncle Lee. Something in the have to fucking be. So yeah, no, we're not gonna go there, Timo. It's not that kind of party. It's not happening. What's the worst that could happen? It's I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that stupid opera shit. It was stupid then, it's stupid now, no one likes it. Timo can't sing along because there's nothing to sing along. But it rhymed with whatever I was singing, or I think I said something about a dong, and sing along kind of just came with it. Timo, one of the spins you made in the wheel, one of your super chats landed on make us up a song, and I think when I got it, I said something like Timo, Pimo, the Timo. I sucked then. It was horrible. I owed you a better song, so there you go. So that's for Timo. And ultimately, the end of this Better Call Saul view, you guys might. I always wonder at a couple of these like random streams where I go on for another 20 minutes afterwards, act like an asshole at the end of a podcast. I end up editing the video and cutting these parts out. But no, not this time. Not this time, and not in this season finale. And if you've made it this far, and you haven't already, subscribe, motherfuckers. We're going to be doing more and more of these kind of just random podcasts. And I'm going to get Joe on these kinds too, where we're just not necessarily even talking about television, where we're talking about specific topics and just babbling the hell and telling some storytelling. You guys are awesome, and I want to be able to talk to you guys more. So yeah, that's why almost on every podcast now we do an after show. Because Joe and I used to do the after show by ourselves and not record it and just talk shit for a while afterwards. So we decided, why don't we just not do that? And why don't we just not, after we're done doing a recap, just talk on the air for like 20 minutes more or 10 minutes more, or even 5 minutes or something. So we're going to try to always do those, like a little bit of an after show. End it and just do it. Some nights maybe we'll be a little bit tighter, especially in Game of Thrones season, when we're just kind of stay on topic. But we'll expect a lot more kind of just story time, issues after dark, issues program type things, like I did with the Prison Break review the other night. So people that got to watch that, sorry. Exactly, Timo. 20 minutes, issues after dark kind of situations. Oh, what the hell is that? What's that sound? Oh no, I don't know what's going on. Justin Bieber ain't got nothing to feel. Oh, thank you. Esposito, got on a field Rosito. Make love to Kevin Biko. Touch me in my frico. Justin Biko, 7 Biko, Takatico, Lalalido. Justin Bieber, Sadito, Esposito, Phil, zippity doopity dappity 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 doopity dappity zippity doopity dappity. I met this girl, I knew she was lying. I don't know what's going on, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Esposito. Something. Isn't that a Justin Bieber song? I mean, I know it's not originally. Doesn't Justin Bieber do a version of that song? And yes, I'm calling him Beaver. Does he still play the drums? Because I remember, like, I'm aging myself, and I'm sorry for fans of his, but I remember when, like, the first time I heard his name, he had, like, those YouTube videos where he just, like, would play drums really well. Does he even still play the drums? As a drummer, that's all I cared about. I was like, oh, he's a pretty good drummer. That's when, after that point, I know nothing about him. What's that sound? Let me change the sound. Let's see if this is a better sound. S O ooh ooh. It's like baby, 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 oh, baby, 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 yo. No. Sorry about that. I'm sorry for killing like what I know is a very popular song. Samba doopoo zibba zabba zamba zoop zoos. Did you get those guests you wanted on your show, Phil, for Game of Thrones? I remember you were talking about it. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. It's going to be like week to week. I know, Broke, I'm definitely want to get you at least on for like a segment on one of those shows for question one. I know a couple people that I have definitely lined up for the Game of Thrones feedback shows, and after so we're going to be doing I've talked about this a couple times, but as we're leading into it and we're getting real close, let's talk about this a couple more times, a couple more 100 times. So ultimately what we're going to be doing during the Game of Thrones season is 3 things a week. The first thing that we're going to be doing is right after the episode airs, the recap. Sometimes it will be me and Joe. Sometimes, hopefully, it will be Joe and Katie as well. Sometimes Carmine will be joining us on the recap show when he can make it. Then once a week, we'll be doing a feedback show, probably later in the week on Wednesday or Thursday. It will depend on the schedule. In that case, I'm going to try to do it with some other people. I want to do one show with I don't want to necessarily, I've said people in the past, but I don't want to like put it out there in case things don't work out. But there's a lot of people I want to reach out week to week and try to do something with. One person I know I want to try to do something with Nick from History Buffs. We talked about it. Tony, I definitely want to get Tony on. Kyle, I want to get Kyle on. Broke and Johnny and Carmine maybe on a feedback show too. The Walking David might join us for some recap shows too. A couple of other people are long shots, but hopes to get on the feedback shows as well. And for the feedback shows, everybody, please leave as many voicemails as you can. And we'll also try to take calls on those as well, but we're going to be taking calls on the recap shows too. So get the conversation going on those feedback shows and leave your feedback messages. Send me your emails every week. And we got a couple of long shot guests that I'm going to try to get organized, and we'll see if we can make that happen. I don't want to say who they are, but a couple of long shots, a couple people I want to have for sure on those feedback shows. And then one other time a week, I'm going to do a show by myself where I watch the trailer for the next episode and just rant and rave about whatever. So this is good, and I don't know if that's going to be on Mondays or Tuesdays, and then the feedback show will be on Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, or how that will all work time-wise, but ultimately there'll be 3 shows a week for Game of Thrones, as much as possible. Critch, what's going on? I totally picked my nose on the stream, Critch. Why does everyone who's just starting to even do live streams insist on doing it right after where the YouTube code of conduct? Why can't people do streams of every other day? Because everyone wants to stream now. Streaming's the thing. Everyone's streaming. Everyone wants to stream. It's fun. I love that everyone streams. It's great, but the more the merrier. Bring it on. Hey Phil, did you see Blood Drive on Sci-Fi Channel? Seriously, don't know how it aired. I did not see that. I will have to see that. But yeah, I mean, what it really comes down to is the streams all go up onto YouTube anyway. So if you don't watch certain ones live, you can always watch them later. I prefer, I think some people, it's live streams are great. Pre-recorded videos are great. Anyone who does pre-recorded stuff and is really great at it, that's stepping into live streaming. That's awesome. It's great to see people in kind of real time too that want to do that kind of thing. But live streaming is definitely more popular than it was even a year ago. Everyone's live streaming on YouTube, and it's cool. It's awesome. There's going to be a lot of great content for people this season of Game of Thrones, and I can't wait as a fan and as someone that likes listening to shit too. I can't wait to be able to do my streams, shut it off, and check out other people's stuff as well. And I love having Timo do all my dirty work. Timo being my id on my shoulder, and but by all means, I want you guys all to listen to is we're the first place to go right after the episode airs. I'm not foolish. I want everyone to come watch our show first. No, I've noticed that since YouTube got funky with the money, now everyone wants to stream. It's so fucking transparent, Timo says. Don't get me wrong, I'm a stream junkie but darn, why step on other people's stros when you start live streaming? Stop being so nice, Phil. # fuck that. I'm nice, sure. No one wants to hear angry Phil. Like if I went full angry, like direct Phil, people. I'm sorry, I'm talking about myself. If I did that, no one wants to hear that shit. No one wants to hear me go like that. I'm an asshole. Trust me. I'm a fucking asshole. If you saw my face right now, you could say he's an asshole. Thank you, Timo. I appreciate that. There's multiple times, but you can always flip back and forth, but it's going to be the most fun. We always have we have a lot of fun, so definitely jump in with us if you can. Talk like Elmo, please. I don't know Elmo's voice well enough. I can talk like Marvin the Martian.
I'm going to blow up the Earth with my P-31 space modulator because it blocked. Wait. I'm going to blow up the Earth with my P-31 space modulator because it blocks my view of Venus.
Angry Phil, does a thing such exist? Ask my friends. Ask Joe. Corey Mitchell donating $5. Fucking motherfucker. Oh, bastard. Timo and broke, that's the thing. Everyone's good at different things, and everyone has great different talents, and it's great to watch and enjoy. What I can't pre-record for shit. I have no pre-recording talent. I do pre-recording videos. I sound like a fucking asshole. There's Corey Mitchell making Joe dance on the screen. Corey, I just pray that it doesn't land on shot. Let me spin this fucking wheel. Spinning the wheel, no whammies, please, no shot, don't do this to me. No, holy motherfucking shit on an asshole. Seriously, it's not believable because wait, let me bring this closer and show what it landed on. Whoa! Sorry about that, hopefully that didn't wake up Stephanie. It landed on both take a shot. It probably did wake up. No, it didn't because the air conditioner's on. I destroyed the wheel. Because I don't want to take a shot. But it did. It fucking landed on it. It really did. You fucking motherfuckers. I destroyed the wheel. Ooh. Stephanie's about to come down and go, what the fuck? What's going on? And then be like, someone donated money. Oh, okay. She'll be like, okay, that's fine. Editing does suck. I mean, I did enjoy doing like the Fresh Prince of Westeros song and video and all that stuff. I like pre-recording that stuff. I mean, pre-recording in the sense of when I have to do like a top 10 list or do something where I have to say an opinion quickly and sum it up. I'm not very good at that. Like I end up ranting a lot. And when I edit it, I kind of cut it together. There's some videos that I did maybe like a year ago and a couple before that are pre-recorded. And they're fun. I sometimes play with like some silly editing tricks and stuff. But I like more doing skit things like Shit Buddies or the Fresh Prince of Westeros video. That kind of stuff's more fun for me to do as pre-recorded stuff. Something complete. But if I have an opinion to get across, for me, there's no excuse not to do it live, just because what my natural thing is being a radio or podcaster type of thing. So it's kind of the visual thing. For a long time, even on my first channel, when I did a lot of the early issues program podcasts, I didn't show my face. It was like weird images or like a loop of some messages going back and forth. And it was just kind of an audio thing. And that's part of the reason why no one watched them, because it's like YouTube. You actually want to see some bullshit. But I was sort of goofy about, I don't want to say the shit. I don't know. I just didn't want to show my face because I had been done radio before that. And I'm like, no one wants to look at me being me, because I do shit like this when I'm talking, and I make faces and blah blah blah. But no one's better or worse. Everyone has their talents and abilities. I wouldn't say anything like that, publicly. No, I'm an asshole. Trust me. I'm a big asshole. But yes, you got a shot. What the fuck? Here we go. Oh, Corey. Oh, fucking Corey. You motherfucker. Good, Timo. Be biased. That's the point. That's how to spread us, is through you biased motherfuckers. I want you guys to all be biased. Love everybody else, by all means. Spread the love. Be happy for especially the people that are good. But my obvious goal is to further us and grow our fucking group. So, by all means, I have no objections to your biases. I just want to hide my assholeness as much as possible. The better I feel about myself, the more the asshole comes out. So it's coming out more and more and more, thanks to the love that you guys show. So thank you. Corey is in the house. Great to see you. They say Chuck Norris had a son. Oh, and his name is Phil. Thank you. Oh my fuck. Thank you so much for the super chat donations from Timo and Corey. Thank you guys tonight. You are amazing. And fucking A, I need to make sure this wheel isn't broken, because every time I spin it, it lands on a shot, it seems. The whole goal of getting the fucking wheel in the first god fucking damn place was so that we weren't just taking shots after every super chat donation. Which sort of came by accident because I was going through a sad time and there was a bottle around. So I was taking shots. I'm realizing I'm looking at myself in the camera instead of looking up here. I'm looking at myself in a video point. Like this whole time I'm looking down here instead of looking up into your eyes. You've lost my balls and feeling. Oh gosh. If you want a question answered, you got to donate. I'll say like, what the fuck? Can you at least act like you're not doing it for the money? On the spot answers in the streams. Oh, sorry. I was in a popular YouTuber's chat and it was like total cash grab. She's like one of my favorite YouTubers until then. Okay, guys. Do you want me to talk about something? If you donate money, I'll talk about it. See, it's funny. I feel like if I ever mention, oh, hey guys, we got a Patreon. check it out, help support. Ooh. That's why we're trying, like, with that sort of shit to make it a little silly and a little fun and all that sort of stuff. We appreciate the donations that people make, and I really, obviously, I joke about it a lot. I'd love to be able to make enough to sustain to do this more and more. But was more important to me, anyways, is that you guys are having a good, chill, relaxing, whatever kind of time while you're watching and enjoying the live stream. Or hating on us or whatever, even the haters. Like, I want you guys that hate on me to be like, oh, look who's the old man and the fat dreadlock guy. Someone left a comment this past week. Fuck this. The old man was screaming while the fat dreadlock. Like, we fucking love you guys too. You make us laugh. So ultimately, we appreciate the donations and all of that, and all of our Patreon people. We try to give you guys a little extra sneak peek behind the scenes and some extra videos here and there and stuff. But and some people are like, yeah, we'll answer your questions directly, right? Blah, blah, blah. Fuck. I mean, it gets a little crazy here sometimes in the popular show times, but if you guys take the time to ask a question or email me a question or whatever, I try to always respond. It might take me a while, stuff like that. Why not do that stuff? I'm trying to build friendships ultimately, essentially, not get people to just be, oh, pay me for this. Sure, money's great. Pay me for this, please. But, I actively try not to say that. We have our affiliate links, we have our sign up shit, all that stuff. I should probably talk about it more. But it's hard. It's hard. The super chat thing's fun. That's why we get the wheel, we get the silliness, we get the shots, we get the goofiness. So we try to push that, but we hope we're not intrusive about it. Yep. I pop in this chat every now and then, but I carry on a conversation. Oh, okay. We're talking about somebody else. One of these days, I'm going to do a stream like Tony did, where he's like, you want to honestly know how I feel about everybody, and have you guys just ask me about every single person and just have me be honest. I got to get like significantly drunk. I'm like, again, I'm not saying this for pandering for money. I'm like almost drunk enough to like not care and be like talking way too much shit and delete this part of this video. I'm like on the verge.
Phil, you shouldn't do that. You should be nice to people.
Okay, I'm very, 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 very nice. Honest question, Phil. I haven't turned on monetize button. Should I turn it on? Why not? What is the negativity about it? Don't worry about it. Don't care about it. Don't even think about it. Ultimately, don't make your videos to make money, because videos are not going to make any money. Like, when it really comes down to it, the money you make on YouTube, you guys would be surprised how little people actually make from just the monetization on YouTube. So why not turn it on and let that little ticker add up? If you get flagged on shit like that, you're just going to get not copyright strikes. You're going to get like claims and shit like that. Fight them as you want to, but don't really worry about that stuff too much. So yeah, I'd say why not turn it on? Couldn't hurt. Unless you're going to obsess over it. But ultimately, make sure you turn on like non-skippable shit so people don't have to sit through ads. Don't put too many ads in videos. I hate watching videos where people have like 20 little ad breaks in there, and you like click on their video and you see like the 20 different ad breaks. Someone suggested that I should do that. They're like, you do these long videos, you should put like 20 different ad breaks in it, so people that have to watch long podcasts have to watch like 17 different ads. It would up your... And I'm so annoyed when other people do that I can't do that myself. I'm like trying to put one in the middle or something. Like if I do a 2-hour podcast, put like one in the hour point. But even that, I'm like, I don't really want to do that. I'm an asshole. I mean, I shouldn't be talking about this stuff because no one wants to hear about this crap. But ultimately, I say with the monetization thing, why not? It's there. Like, even if over the course of a year it adds up to like $100 or something like that, I'm just making up a number. Why not collect that $100? That's a lot of fucking ramen noodles and cans of SpaghettiOs. That's the way I look at things. Just do it, Phil. We're all friends here. Friends are honest with each other. Then be honest. Let it out. I want to know what you think about people. You don't want to know what I think about people. I'm an asshole. The world's biggest asshole. I can only talk about the people I like. There's certain people I like. You don't want to hear about the people I hate. Well, you could. Well, I have ad blocker on, so I don't see ads on YouTube. Awesome. I shouldn't say this as someone that wants to make ad revenue, I guess, but I'm like that Santa Claus in Miracle on 34th Street. I don't recommend using ad blocker. But I also highly recommend you using Super Chat and seeing Dancing Joes. Frank Sabaka. Holy shit, we got our buddy straight from the docks of Baltimore. Holy shit, my buddy. Holy shit, what a finale. Crazy, huh, Frank? Crazy. But see, Phil, I can tell you like doing live shows. I hate it when you can tell people do live casts because of the money they're dicks about doing it. Dun, 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 dun. I just love talking to people. I just love getting to talk to you guys. It's a lot of fun. And this is what, I mean, we've been doing these since I've been doing the live streams in some way, shape, or form since like 2011 or something. So, I mean, I love the thing in 2010 and from 2007, 8, and 9, from 2007 to 2010, I was doing or was it 2008? 2008 to 2010, I was doing a radio show. So I've been doing like live things for a long time, for good or for bad. This is just the way I like doing it. And that's not to say anything about other people that are choosing to do it. It's my favorite way of broadcasting, just because what I always loved growing up was I love talk radio, and I also love just live television. I love the concept of it. So this is the closest thing. No one's hiring me to be on a television show or to be on a radio station right now. If they did, that'd be awesome. Hey, I'm looking for a job. You know, hey, anyone want to pay me to podcast or to broadcast? I'll gladly accept offers. I know how to not swear. I could say cuckadookie and poopy caca and mother grabber and hippie activity. You know, I know how to clean up my act. Hire away. But this is the closest thing I can do to be able to do whatever my ultimate fantasy was, to host a live television show of some sort. So this is the closest thing. So I'm able to do this for fun and get to talk to all you fuckers, and it's a lot of fun. So and that's not to say anything bad about anyone else that does it for fun or for like, oh, I got the option, so let me do it, or trying to make money or trying to do whatever. That's cool. You know, all power to them. The more people that can bring attention to it, the more credibility the medium can have. But by all means, I hope they all promote me. And I'll say, what I really like is listening to that Issues guy. So I mean, if people want to say that, I want us to be even big. I want us to keep growing and growing. That's what I want. Because it's all of us. It's not just me. It's not just Joe. It's not just Taka. It's not just John. It's not just The Walking David. It's not just Carmine. It's not just Devin's support. It's not just any of that stuff. It's all of us. So fuck yeah. I'm a little drunk because of fucking super chat donations, because you motherfuckers want to get me drunk. And I accept it. It's fine. I don't want to go. I probably should go. I probably should have gone an hour ago. I probably should delete this part of this video. This is turning into one of those, this is the first time I've, no, that's not true. These live streams are fucking drunk. We've got Enchantment of Eternity, Mark, right there. I wish I was doing a hangout, Mark, because I'd invite you in right now. Mark, I'm going to be on, I mentioned this a couple of times, I'm going to be on Mark's channel at 9 p.m. on Thursday evening with Mark and Don Willie. I got your message, Mark. I couldn't respond. 9 o'clock is fine. Let's make this shit official. So definitely, everyone, if you haven't already, check out Enchantment of Eternity. He reviews tons of shit. Keeps it real, keeps his opinions honest. Mark doesn't pull any punches. If you like something, he tells you. If you hate something, he fucking tells you. He doesn't give a shit. So I always love Mark. And I got to say, so many people, I love a lot of channels. I love a lot of people on YouTube, big, small channels, whatever. 3 people reached out to me to help me out or talk to me or whatever, or want to be like, share us and push us. Carmine, I always talk about Carmine. I always talk about Devin from Atheism is Unstoppable. I always talk about Carmine Red Team Review. And Mark from Enchantment Eternity, like, reached out to me and was like, oh, we should do shit together. And that's why I'm always excited when we get to do things. It's a shame that I've only had him on my channel once. He's had me on his channel a bunch of times. I got to remedy that. So Mark is really good people. And so if you want to check out more Better Call Saul discussions, definitely check out this Thursday evening, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. with Mark, myself, and Don Willie talking about some Better Call Saul. So lots of love to Mark, though. So no shit. Mark was the very first person to ever reach out to me from like another YouTube channel to say, hey, let's do something together. So not a lot of people do that. I don't often have other channels reach out to me and say, hey, Phil, let's do something, especially not like bigger channels or stuff like that. Or channels kind of in the same spectrum as myself. So lots of love to Mark. I'm ready for some fucking Game of Thrones. I'm fucking ready. I am fucking ready for some Game of Thrones on a whole fucking level. It's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be an awesome season. I mean, even if and I'm not going to talk about them specifically, but even if all the spoilers and such are true, it's still going to be a lot of fun watching all those particular things happen. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Now this is a story all about how Westeros got flipped, turned upside down. If you want to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you all about the quest to take the Iron Chair. In the Fingers, born and raised, wanna fuck Catelyn Tully most of his days. Chilling on the council, relaxing and cool, plotting his schemes, the Ashers he will rule. When a couple of Lannisters that were up to no good, so he started spreading rumors in the neighborhood. Bran got one little peek, Cersei got scared, Jaime pushed him out of the tower, he was physically impaired. Whistled for a raven when it came near, the parchment just read it was the rains of Castamere. If anything, I could hope that winter is near, but I thought, nah, forget it, yo, crow to the chair. They pulled up to King's Landing, season 7 or 8. Yelled to the king, got you home, smell you later. Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the rightful true heir.
Woo!
Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy. Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy. Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy. Don't have to worry, get your shit, buddy tonight.
It's kind of hard at this point in time because I am goofy, I am awake, but I probably should start to wrap things up. And as I mentioned before, I probably should cut this and cut off the end part of this podcast. But I guess if people make it this far, they're already digging it. So no one that made it this far in the podcast, they're going to shut it off right at the point where I go, this is the end of the Better Call Saul podcast. The people that just want to watch Better Call Saul. So fuck it. No, we're keeping it. We're keeping it live. We're keeping it forever. Shit buddies, yeah, that was for you, Broke, because I know that's one of your favorites. Stephanie's lovely Shit Buddies song. I wish I had them. I don't think I have them right here, but I'm sort of in a wanting to play music point. I have one of Stephanie's songs that she sings and I play the bongos on. But you can there's a live show of us you can find somewhere online. So everybody, should I end things? Is it should we be over? No, fuck no, fellas. You should keep going. No, I shouldn't. That's the drunk talking. Chuck totally forgot his shit buddies. That's part of the problem with Chuck, is he didn't take the time to really deeply consider how his actions were going to cause to perpetuate his disease, and that by isolating himself and by being, and I know this too, when I get into a rage and I'm like, I'm right, ultimately you destroy all relationships with everybody else to focus on your right. That's why I tend to, when I'm in my best mood, you let other people lead the way and you reflect off them and get your own thing off that, but you ultimately making other people happy. You be empathetic towards them and understand that, and then it lets you get what you want easier by understanding what other people want and kind of filling each one of those goals partially. Then it allows you to, if you're dealing with good people, they will feel compelled to treat you better. Zippity doo dah, zippity yay, my oh my, what a fucking day. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Do it live? Do that. Fuck it. Do that shit live. Where's the 10? Yeah, we didn't do a 10K lead up. We need to do that at some point. I've talked about that a bunch of times. Somehow, some way, someday, maybe next year, because I couldn't make it happen this year for obvious reasons with everything going on. But maybe we can do some sort of thing where next year, before the final season of Game of Thrones, some of us can meet at one of those kind of conventions of Game of Thrones, whether it be the Con of Thrones or that other one. One of them, pick something. I think the best party action we could ever have would be that. I mean, we'd definitely be down to host something in the Boston area anytime if people wanted to come in. If people were really serious about that, and we could get even 10 people to come in to Boston area, Joe and I could try to come up with like a weekend, do something where we go out to a bar, do a bar crawl one night, which ultimately leads to doing like karaoke or something one night. Try to put together in a bar somewhere or some sort of live situation where Joe and I would do a live show, where we do a live podcast, watch something and do a live movie recap or review or something, and then have some other events or some other meet and greets, some Q&As or whatever. I mean, if people ever really wanted to do that and travel to Boston and organize it, we would definitely do something. But I think ultimately the more realistic thing would be some event that we all attend and sort of party at, whether it be a Game of Thrones event or something at a casino, a concert, or something like that, where we all gather together in that context. I'm definitely down for doing something like that in the future, especially as we keep growing. Yes, Phil, I'm there. I'm in New York City, so I can definitely do it. Timo, you can drive me. Who will drive me for Quixote? I will come pick you up at the train station. But no, I mean, ultimately, I would probably figure something out, like rent out a function hall or something, and Joe and I would do a live show, and we try to get as many people as possible and do some sort of big live issues program, and based around a couple of other nights, like maybe do a Sunday cookout down in Salem Willows or something like that, and do it as like a 3-day. Friday night would be a go out, drink, karaoke, ridiculosity. Saturday would be a live podcast, live feedback podcast where people will ask questions live, be a part of the show, blah, 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 blah. And then Sunday before people leave would be a goodbye cookout or something cheesy like that. So, I mean, we'd definitely be down to do something like that if we could get even like anybody that would want to do that. So Joe and I have definitely talked about that. And as we go through Game of Thrones season and we go into the final season of Game of Thrones and everything like that, we can look into activities like that. So we're completely down. We love to do some meet and greet options and stuff. But like I said, the more realistic thing is something that everyone would be attending and we would attend as well, like a Game of Thrones convention or something like that. Is probably more realistic. No one wants to really come to Boston for a weekend to hang out with Joe and I. No one wants to fucking do that. Oh, I meant Mr. Phil. Congratulations. Yeah, Joe and I are very happy in our marriage. It's very, very nice. I mean, also we could do something like at a certain event in New York City or a certain event. New York City isn't too far for us too. I mean, so Boston's not too far. We could do something, meeting out in Vegas or something. I don't know. Who knows? Meeting down in Orlando or something like that. We could all go to Disney World together. Who knows? Go to the Ice and Fire Con next year and have as many of you guys that want to come to that event as well. I mean, it might be a little tough for me to wrangle that, but maybe we could do some sort of fundraiser thing for that leading up, or I could use some of the super chat donations and such to try to pay for going to the Fire and Ice next year. And then all you guys could meet us down there, anyone that wanted to come as well. And we could have a big, huge meet and greet and party around then. So there's a lot of options because as we keep growing and going with this thing. We've been going a long time, so it doesn't matter that other people are doing whatever they're doing. We're doing what we're doing, and the party is over here, motherfuckers. You know it is. Everybody knows it is. You know, there's people that are bigger, better, whatever, but the party, the fun, the silliness, the goofiness, the no bullshit attitude, that's what you can get here, and that you can check all the fucking other shit at the door. So we thank you guys for allowing us to be our asshole selves. Like, where else can you get a Joe? We got a fucking Joe. Like, I'm useless. I got a Joe. One day when Joe decides he doesn't want to do this anymore, it's gonna be a sad day. Yes, Phil, you'll have to rely on me as your co-host, and that will be wacky. So yeah, we'll figure out the right opportunity. But Joe and I have not forgotten about a celebration. I mean, I was gonna do a 24-hour stream or a 12-hour stream for the 10,000 celebration. So I still owe some sort of celebration for that. I'd rather do something in person. So maybe one day, maybe the Fire and Ice Con next year, maybe something or other. We'll figure it out. We're gonna have a party, and I just can't wait to hang to get to slap all of your balls. I'm trying to get Phil drunk while he would be trying to get me to be an oath breaker and take part in hippie activities. Holy shit. It's going to be a lot of fun, Timo. Timo, when you and I finally hang out, it's going to be craziness. I want to get you hanging out with some of my friends. It's going to be a lot of fun. All of you guys. How did the red wedding gag go at the wedding? I remember, I've seen you tell. It went all right. It went, okay. I went to the DJ who was getting off on playing a Pink Floyd medley. And I went over to him and I said, listen, dude, you got to play you got to play Reigns of Castamere. People are eating. He goes, oh yeah, okay, I'll play that. So we played that. I slammed the doors. I went out, and I talked about this on another podcast too. I went out to the hallways. I slammed the doors really, really hard, and then I looked in to see people's reaction. And a couple people that were sitting by the doors had a reaction. Then while the song was playing, and I told him to turn up the volume, I snuck behind Joe and with a butter knife, and I went to his throat. And Joe reacted and kind of choked on his food, but he didn't ultimately get what was going on. Excuse me. A few people from Stephanie's family knew what was going on, and a couple of people, random people, kind of picked up on it, but it wasn't as big of a situation as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to have people like, excuse me, I have a burp coming. I wanted people to freak out and kind of run out of the place, but none of that happened. People just kind of were like, oh, this is a very nice song. And now I have the hiccups. Hiccup, hiccup, hiccup. It's come to that point. I guess at the hiccup point is the time to end the stream, because no one wants to watch a guy do a podcast with the hiccups. I'm glad this is a visual podcast. Hiccups. Will drinking beer help my hiccups? Whoa! I should watch Fear the Walking Dead. That will fucking scare me. They'll scare those fucking hiccups away. I do. They're not so much the hiccups, they're the drunk ups. Tonight turned into a very drunk night, and that is okay. I'm very excited to be able to share this drunkitude with all of you. Timo is the bad influence. The best cure for drunk is more drunk. Well, this is what's ultimately silly is, yes, I am fucking drunk, but this is only my second beer. And I did have 2 shots tonight. So 2 beers and 2 shots ultimately by the end of the night. That's how much of an ultimate lightweight I am. Going on vacation and going on the honeymoon, I could drink from early in the morning to late at night, but I was drinking gradually and also exercising and eating constantly too. So it was a weird sort of combination. So I was never really drunk, except for a couple of those evenings, like the night of the coffee guy and the porn star. I don't know. Am I drunk enough for the coffee guy and the porn star story? It's not that crazy of a story, but it is an interesting story. It does sound fucking awesome. It really does. I get the hiccups with really spicy food. I don't want to get too personal. I'm not going to do it. I'm not drunk enough that I'm going to tell you about like my... Well, if you listen to my old podcast, if you go to iTunes and listen to some of the early episodes, you can hear some tales of some medicinal situations I've run into. There's one called, but I have some issues. But the Night's Watch and the White Walkers decide they have to go to High Garden to get the best weed and end up smoking out Elena, who's a gangster. She smoked them all under the table. She does seem like she can smoke some weed. We talked about this a lot, that where is the best weed in all of Westeros? I mean, I think it's obviously High Garden, but I think Dorne also probably has a great deal amount of weed. It's a lot of different kind of weed. It's probably like a lower grade kind of sandwich, but it is where it's at. It'd be great if the Night's King came from South and got some good weed. That's weird from someone that drinks from a weekly basis. I drink a lot. Motherfuckers. But yes, ultimately, when it really comes down to it, I've had 4 drinks tonight over the course of, what is it? It's 2:30 in the morning. Fuck. But since 10 o'clock, I've had 4 drinks. So, and I'm at my drunk point. By the end of this, I'll be I'm still a cheap date. I am. I'm a fucking cheap date. I get the munchies, but kitchen is too far away, so I just keep smoking. You're lucky. You are fucking lucky. I'm out of sandwiches. I have a fake sandwich. I have a fake sandwich somewhere. I don't know where my fake sandwich went, but it's somewhere. But everybody, I probably should wrap things up before I get too ridiculous, because the ridiculosity is coming to no end. Live stream munchies. Game of Thrones season is coming soon. I don't want this to be the last stream before Game of Thrones season. Upcoming, we got a couple of really interesting stuff. Really interesting stuff. Check it out. Really interesting stuff. No, we got some interesting podcasts and some older shows we're going to be talking about. The next podcast you'll probably see on the channel will be the Oz podcast. This has been one that I've been holding off for a while. I really even don't know how to tackle it, but it's about time to just fucking do it. I also want to do a couple more live movie casts, like live views. Tom was requesting one of those, and it's about time we do a live movie watch, or at least get Matt over here to do the first 2 episodes of The Sopranos. So we're going to be doing that. Joe and I have a podcast coming up that we're going to be doing about the top 10 movie bad guys or villains or whatever. That's going to be coming up soon. A request from one of our super chat donators that landed on movie request. We also got to do a guilty pleasure stream where I talk about where I talk about 90210 and Gossip Girl and all horrible shows that I watch. And a lot more issues programs where I just come up, kind of rip and read some silly, cheesy Hollywood news silliness, and we just kind of get into it. I don't want to get into too much crap, because this is the place to just all get silly and say, fuck everything. Fuck the world. Fuck the world! I'm with him, but then he just goes too far. That silly hippie. But yeah, I want to do a stream where I talk, dude, like totally, like I totally want to do a stream where I why am I even, seriously, why am I doing this? I'm not even smoking anything. I'm not smoking anything. This isn't real. This is one of those weird cheesy. See, I'm just a douchebag vaporizing. See, it's not a real. It's not any THC product or anything like that. It's just bullshit. No, I swear, it's just normal. Oh yes, and don't forget the Case for Why I Love Jaime Lannister podcast. I'm not sure if I want to do that now or wait till after the season, or wait till a big Jaime moment episode and kind of do that as a midweek random podcast. But I already have the event created for that. It's just about time of doing that. I mean, it's going to be a very much a more emotion than fact episode, which let's be real. What we do here, there's a lot of channels that get way into fact and straight to the point with the book and details and yada yada yada. Joe and I are kind of emotion-based guys. So we're kind of an emotion-based channel when it really comes down to it. John showed up and didn't smoke, but everyone thought, got confused. They said, you know nothing, Jon Snow, and took some X and ended up grinding against Sam. I spent 3 weeks in Amsterdam. I only remember bits and pieces, Francis Frank. Sam had the munchies and shit and ate the dragons. Wow, Corey. Corey in the zone, as always, with his comments. I think I'm treading upon 3 hours here in this live stream. I remember my friend Nick, who was here during my wedding and during all other events that happened during this last stretch. The Game of Thrones trailer came out, and I think I did like a 2-hour live stream just talking about it. And he's like, "Oh, the Game of Thrones trailer came out. How long is it?" let me watch it. You know, I don't like Game of Thrones, but I'll watch it. And I showed him the trailer, and he's like, oh, okay, whatever. That looks kind of cool. And he's like, okay, so how long did you talk about that? And I said 2 hours. He's like, how the fuck do you talk alone for 2 hours? That's a good question. So now we're approaching 3 hours. But 3 hours I was talking about the radio before. That was the radio shift. So after 3 hours, I don't even know. Plus I'm alcohol fueled. And I'm playing a bongo. I gotta take off my ring because this shit's gonna break. Thoughts I share, faces without share. Faces of an enemy drift on forever. No one needs a tool which is used in case of confusion. Sorry, I'm drunk and in kind of musical mood. I gotta admit, lately, when I got sick in 2015, right before I got sick, a lot of the music that I play on the live streams, there's 2 bands that I played with. There was this one, the band that played like the Issue song, this one. That's Frightening Dick Theater. And then there was like the one that played this band right here. The one that I play most of the songs from the podcast on, called Mosquito Gonzalez. And for a couple of years, I was all right with not playing music, but I'm starting to get the craving, so I am going to be playing some music again. Hence, I mentioned it before, behind the Deep Space Nine thing, there was a drum set, and I'm going to be recording some music pretty soon, and I will make sure to share all that goofiness with you guys, as horrible as it's going to be. It's going to be pretty bad. It's going to be bad. It's going to be horrible, and you're going to be like, fuck this shit. I don't even want to listen to this. But as I make it, as I do it, I will make sure I share it with you. My cousin Craig, who was also on the last Sopranos cast we did, the big group live watch that we did about a couple months ago or so, or I think it's a couple months at this point. He will be recording some of the music with me, as well as my friend Jeff Jazz. So yeah. Look forward to being annoyed by some new music by me pretty soon. Pretty soon. It's going to be horrible. I know, I'm going to talk alone. I could just talk alone for hours. When I was a young kid, I used to carry one of those Fisher-Price tape recorders, and I just host these silly, stupid shows by myself. I kind of wish those recordings still existed somewhere, but no, I recorded like phone sex hotline stuff on those tapes later in life. Frank's got a Telecaster. You could get back and playing some guitar. Fucking do it, Frank. And if you record a guitar line, send me that shit and I'll record a drum track to it. And we'll have an FOP classic. But yeah, we're going to get some silly music. Corey says, Littlefinger gets so high, he actually climbs a ladder, but when he falls, mumbling chaos, no one really cares. Corey, I love interpreting your comments. I mentioned this before. I would buy a book filled with Corey's comments. Corey's pretty fucking hilarious. Braun the Hound, a drunken priest from the Brotherhood with banners. Tom himself, great stuff. Frank, I hear you. It's one of those things I kind of have to force to do it because playing in a band and doing a lot of stuff, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time and effort. That's why in this next project that I'm doing, it's just going to be 2 of us kind of writing songs and recording and figuring out ways to play live with just the 2 of us. Because the more people, more problems when it really comes down to it. So, but no, I look forward to playing more music with my cousin. He was about to move, and he ultimately decided not to move. So because he's staying around, we're going to do some shit. So that's ultimately why I decided to buy the drum set. That, and also I've been wanting to bash it. So one of these live streams, when I do one of these ones during the day, I will make sure to play a silly drum solo. So everybody, I want to end this. It's better to end too soon than go on too long, and I've already gone on too long. So I guess this is as good a time as any. If you've stuck around this long, oh my fucking God, you are fucking amazing. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. If anyone has any last minute questions, please Q&A me in the live chat or at me in the live chat as I'm starting to wrap things up. Push me in a direction or we'll start to wrap things up as my last beer, and I'm not cracking another one, is going away. Hey, I want to get a synth and MPC player to write my own music in studio. I definitely want to do that. My problem is both the instruments I play aren't conducive to writing songs themselves, so I can't really do it alone. I play drums and I play trumpet, and I play trumpet to the extent of it's just a solo instrument for me. So I can't really write songs instrument-wise. I write songs vocally. And so I need a guitar player or a bass player or a keyboard player to actually write the riff in the song for me to sing to and or play drums to and or play along to. So I'm more of a collaborator songwriter than anything. There's a couple songs I've written on guitar, but my skills are very limited on the guitar and or the bass. I'm a little better on the bass than the guitar, but I'm not really a stringed instrument player. I'm more of a rhythm player and a vocalist. Not a great vocalist, but I do my thing. Oh, feel la la ba. That's how I sing in my band. Yes, it's 1:30. It's time to leave. Now, this 20 minutes Issues After Dark podcast is brought to you by Audible. If you like audio podcasts, please try audiobooks. You can find in the link in the description box below Audible trial /issues to get your free trial of Audible. Get a free book, then console. And we still get fucking $15. Fucking A. So yes, no, everybody, I'm starting to get silly. I'm starting to get spinny. You guys are amazing. I will talk to you guys next time. And yes, look out for the Issues Guy movie starring Joe and Phil. Animators, contact me. If anyone animates, contact me. Anyways, good night, everybody. What kind of song should we play at the end here? Let's play a song. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, call 781-990-8509. Leave a message or a text message, 781-990-8509. You can also email me at igotissuesman@gmail.com or at theissuesguy@gmail.com. Both will work. But like I said, if you are drunk, dial. If you just want to babble, whatever you want, call that Issues hotline, 781-990-8509. Leave a message. During Game of Thrones season, we will have a call-in line, like a queue call-in line. But that line will always exist 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as Google Voice exists. Everyone, you guys are so awesome tonight. Thank you so much for this amazing live stream. Thank you to Timo and Corey and anybody else. I'm blanking on one other person that donated on Super Chat that got me even more drunk. So all you motherfuckers, thank you so much for getting me silly and goofy and feeling happy and enjoying life. Because the thing I enjoy more than anything else is getting to talk to all of you people every week. I want to do it every day. So thank you. So all your donations, if you want to join Patreon, check it out and help support us and help us grow and continue. We also have PayPal donations, all that sort of stuff. See, I can do it. I can promote myself. All that stuff, do that. Or in the live streams, do the Super Chat donations. It always helps out. Thank you to all you guys, and help spread the world. More importantly, spread the word, spread this podcast like a fucking disease to as many people as possible. Make sure everybody knows that this is the place to go for the live streams during Game of Thrones and during whatever. We are the fun. Everyone, you can watch everybody else in repeat later. It's all posted later. I don't care how big they are or how whatever they go. This is the place to go after Game of Thrones. So check us out. I'll be back as soon as possible, maybe even tomorrow for a walk with Lotus or at the hospital during my sleep study. But who knows? It's time for this shit. Let's get a little motion as the potion to rock the ass, man. Good night, everybody.
Proper motive. I tend to dare and think it through. A better will pass, sense can last. Nothing is a token, this world will be broken. It's good that you go to get out. Talent a drop out, words are brought out. Word of a boy, I pass out. A lot of tempo, you gotta be brave. The new movement, it won't be safe. Don't stop, I'll flip my head. Don't stop, I ain't no sleep. The only thing that I will survive, that is age. Don't stop, I'll flip my head. Don't stop, I ain't no slave. The only thing that I will survive, that is age. Rust is not a must. Though you might wanna regulate trust. Sit up, you might get thrust. Off your metal, I cause you trouble. Go right ahead, live in your bubble. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Motion is the potion to rock your ass, man, so whipping someone's heart out is a clue. I'm waiting 3/4 just looking for you. Winding up like a spiral staircase, mount to the bottom of the floor. Find all the hope of the sinister man melting at your door. Rust is not a must, though you might wanna regulate trust. Set up, you might get thrust. Off your metal, I cause you trouble. Go right ahead, live in your bubble. Said it before, I'll say it again. Motion is the potion to rock your ass, man.
Oh no, we're still going.